You're live. I'm live. Pop up chat. But a name like that is an interesting name. Maybe it's tidy. I think it is. All right, I'm gonna meet you up, Aaron. Oh, you already did. Nice. What's going on, Case? I remember you. I remember you. You're the feminist guy. Hope you're doing all right. All right. So, Aaron, I know you're muted, but I'll tell you a story because I don't think you were here when Vintage was here. Basically, Vintage was this lady. She's from Scotland, and she brought up this whole counterpoint. And the counterpoint was this. I was bringing up the idea that, yeah, I remember UK's. I was bringing up the idea that men basically have a monopoly on force as a collection of, as a gender. And she was like, yeah, that's not necessarily true because, well, I'm not even going to attempt to do the Scottish accent. Who am I kidding? Basically, I see you up here. I see someone requesting. I'm going to let you up in a sec. She was like, oh, well, you need to understand that women are capable just as capable. And I'm like, well, give me an example of women being militarily capable against men. And she brought up some 1300 war or a battle. And the battle was a battle of Bannockburn, 1314. It was a battle between Scotland and England at the time. And she was explaining that the women basically made the men flee, or the women were an integral part of defeating the army. So I was kind of taken aback because she didn't want to give any evidence of it. She just said, well, Google it. I'm like, okay, Google it. So I'm trying to Google it, but I'm also trying to have a live, so I can't really do it. But to me, it's like the burden of proof is on you, but she didn't want to do that. So later on, me and my friend, you see a German, we good on the YouTube side. So I go look up the freaking battle, and I go look at some videos about it, and I go read up on it. And the women are not necessarily women. So in the battle, in old battles, you have like a military hierarchy. Okay, you have your knights, your nobles, you have your spearmen, you have your common folk, and then you have like the people who are doing logistics, like your cooks, your medics, your blacksmiths, your armorers. They also travel with the camp as well. The military is not the only thing that's present when you're traveling. You're going to battle. You got to walk to that battle. You have to have supplies and logistics there. So as the Battle of Bannockburn is ongoing to battle, the Scottish are winning such that the small folk, which is all the logistical people like the armorers, the maids, the blacksmiths, the common folk, the people who are just there along with the soldiers, they start charging in at the battle. And because the people were already winning, the Scottish were already winning, this had like a compounding effect on the English. And the English basically saw a bunch of common folk or small folk running at them, and they just assumed it was going to be more people coming, more reinforcements. So it led to an exacerbating effect on them reinforcing or retreating. But I could not find any source that was able to give a quantity amount of how many women were there. So ultimately, this is just a big freaking I made this shit up. That's ultimately all it was. And that's another feminist lie. And feminists are always grandiose. They're always trying to find the exception to the rule. And even this was just a feeble attempt at that. So anyways, thanks for coming up, Jordan.
Hello,
Jordan, what is your age?
I'm 28.
All right, thanks for coming on. Do you have any questions or concerns?
Yeah, I was just wondering why you're anti-feminist.
I view, for the topic of this discussion, we can just speak on dating. I view feminism as hurting the dating market. It creates a lot of ridicule, feminists to the men's side, tends to pathologize a lot of male preferences. This is not healthy. This doesn't create a healthy dating environment, especially if men have demands that women are calling them inherently hateful or toxic for. I can at least point out that one thing. But Emily, thanks for coming up.
Thank you.
Emily, have you been here before?
No, I haven't.
All right. What is your age, ma'am?
I'm 19.
All right. Thanks for coming up. Jordan, you wanted to respond?
Yeah, well, I would probably take a wild guess that there's some, hyperbole in a lot of that language, where I don't think that there's this idea truly that all men act that way. I think it's more a criticism towards the male culture, which I largely agree with.
What do you agree with? The feminist critique?
Hypermasculinity, like toxic masculinity. I think that that's largely garbage. And yeah, I mean, if men have certain demands, I don't think that that's necessarily or inherently an issue. I guess it depends on the demands, but I think that it's okay for women to have demands as well. And ultimately, I think I take on a feminist position as a goal of egalitarianism, which I always think is, the best outcome.
Libby, thanks for the follow. So you mentioned hyperbole. So what about what I said was hyperbolic?
You mentioned something along the lines of like women making brash statements, kind of generalizing men, which I agree is probably not uh, amazing, but I don't think that it's all not hyperbole, or I think that it's largely hyperbole.
So the women are just saying a thing, but they don't actually mean the thing. They're just being artistic with their language, or what?
Yeah, I don't think that they actually hate all men. It's more, I think, kind of in group speak. Other women know what they mean, but I don't think that men are inherently the receivers, are supposed to be the receivers of the message.
So the message isn't just towards women; it's meant for everyone. Feminists don't say, "Hey, I have a message that I want to express, and I just want to let you guys know that this is not for the men out there. This is just for the women." And despite what they're, yeah, so that'll be the first point. The second point is you see things that are hyperbolic and damn near inflammatory or radical, like it's all men, saying that there's an absolute number of men doing X behavior, or maybe not making the case. They've always failed the case to make that argument, but still insisting on it and having prompts on this very platform where you'll see them insist on it's all men, it's men, etc. They are, whether they're being hyperbolic or not. That would be like saying, oh, if I'm saying it's all blacks and oh, I'm just being hyperbolic, so we can just dismiss it. Jameson, thanks for the follow. I would say this is I mean, they're free to do what they want, but you can't say that this doesn't have This doesn't lead towards contempt or hatred or misandry. The same way I would
Yeah,
say
I mean,
someone who claims it's all black men, it would lean towards perhaps a racist type of thinking.
yeah, I do think that the behavior is rooted in oppression. So I think that this is practically a response to oppression. Um, and so I don't know if the whole race example you provided was analogous.
It's a one-to-one analogous, and
No, it's
I'll
not.
explain in a sec. So, Ms.
I think
Sanders, thanks for coming on. How's it going today?
Yeah, good. Yourself?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. What is your age?
30.
30? Okay, thanks for coming on. Tate, I see you, Tate.
yeah, and I just
Tate,
want
yeah, I'm going to let you continue, but
Yo,
Tate,
what's up, guys?
how's it going, Tate? What's your age?
21.
All right. So, Jordan wanted to mention something.
yeah, the reason it's not analogous, maybe it would be more analogous to provide something like the black community saying it's all white people. I think that that's much more analogous. But yeah, I think that this is an oppressed group of people, expressing their, uh, problems with the oppressed. Or sorry, the oppressed, kind of speaking towards their oppressors.
All right. So, this is one group of people airing out a grievance with another group of people, correct?
Specifically, an oppressor relationship, yeah.
Okay. So, the problem is you're speaking on the inside of your own preferential or your own tribe. A lot of people don't subscribe to what you're saying at this moment, whether or not women are oppressed, and even if they are, well, yeah, that's the first thing. They're because I'm oppressed, therefore I get to say nasty things towards an entire group of people. A lot of people don't subscribe to that, so this would still lead towards the antagonism that I'm talking about in the dating market. Because if I don't believe that women are oppressed, one, or if I do, but I still don't think it's an excuse to be able to so that you should be nasty to people. This is still an antagonism that goes towards what I'm saying.
Do you
Dude,
think that
how
it would be out of line for a group of blacks to make, inflammatory statements towards their oppressors?
Yeah, because it's all white people. So then we can draw that analogy, or we can draw that analogy then, a one-to-one, right? It's all white people, or it's all
Mhm.
blacks. So you're saying I
I don't
can't
know
say
if I
that.
would say it's all blacks. I think that that's not an oppressor relationship, but
All right. So is that ever expressed? Is a
I mean,
person who
if
lays
you
out
sit
their
down and tell,
no? It's so from every conversation I've had,
Yeah.
and I would advise you guys to have these type of conversations. The context is never
Yeah.
really expressed. It's just a broad stroke of a statement. So
I don't know who you're having conversations with, and
I mean, I have a
obviously
YouTube
shame on
channel right
them for
now
not
where
providing.
I have a YouTube channel where I've even debated people who are talking about it's all men, and they're saying they are completely broad stroke. I've even had conversations on this very prompt where men and women have failed to make the case, and they never bring up the context of a oppressed class. Now, for the sake of the argument, I'll just grant it. Yeah, so you still have to deal with people who don't see things how you do, because once again, it's in a group of people that already agree with you, but there's also an outside circle of people who are going to be looking at you saying, "Oh, yeah, oppression. What are you guys talking about?" And then, so can you see how that would be antagonistic at all?
Yeah, I can. I'm partly critical of women who don't, spend more time in the realm of, educating men, because I do think men need to be educated. Um, so obviously that criticism lands on them, but um, I think that it's not unwarranted, the behavior. So
So hatred,
I guess,
so long as the person perceives that they're oppressed, it's warranted.
yes.
I
Are you
understand.
claiming that
I understand your perspective on it, but basically, ultimately, your main
What
point
up,
is
James?
what's going on, man. Your main point is the ends justifies the
Waiting
means.
for looking fresh, buddy.
I appreciate it. Is that you, Magical? What's your age, man?
It's illogical.
Oh,
It's me.
illogical.
It's
My bad.
karma. 33.
33. Okay.
Same
So
as always, buddy.
I wanted to bring the conversation back to toxic masculinity because I would argue this is another thing that antagonizes men in the dating market, and it creates an unrealistic standard and expectation.
Hey, what's up, Mariella?
Yo,
Go
what's
ahead
up?
and share the live to all your girlfriends, sweetheart. Anywhere I go, these ladies follow. So just know James is about to be about 500 people in here. So
Well,
He's like the main
are they
character
angry?
up
Are they
here.
angry women or what?
mixture. Some of them love me, some of them hate me, but they are all obsessed with me, right?
All right.
So
Well,
I'll take it. Some
So-
of them love to hate me. Some of them hate how much they love me. Some of them, I don't know.
I've
They're women.
experienced that on this very live, so I get what you mean. So
Yo, start talking about hypergamy, dude.
well, we're gonna
Oh,
we
that's
can
infidel,
move to that,
infidel.
but we can move to
Infidel's
that,
a
but
man
let's
who
we're
loves
gonna
me.
we're gonna keep it on toxic
infidel?
masculinity, which was where I think we were leading to when me and Jordan were having the conversation. So here's some ground rules, guys. I
Oh,
do
wait, that
not.
might be a different. Wait, is infidel? Is that pill? Never mind. That might be a different guy.
So when I'm talking, I would expect everyone to focus up, but also I don't mute people here. I just kick people off the panel. So just that's really my only decorum at the moment. So does anybody want to define toxic masculinity?
I don't think it exists. So I'm actually a
It
diagnosed
is a arbitrary
narcissistic
Jewish
person.
term
One sec,
to
one second,
demasculinize
buddy.
men.
All right,
One
well,
second, buddy.
hold on. Go ahead,
Another
Illogical.
time, gentlemen.
Yep. So
And my
I don't
moderator,
think
my
it
moderator
exists.
is Aaron, the dude with the face to the left, like a coin. Go ahead, Illogical.
What's up, Aaron? Give you a fault. So, essentially, it doesn't exist as a narcissist. I feel like men are being tricked into having to be emotional, which if they don't want to be emotional, you can't force them to do it, right? You can't force a man to love a woman if he's self-smex attracted. Why should women try to force men to act a certain way? And specifically, women try to do that with me all the time. I'm a narcissist, right? An actual narcissist, not just tossing it around. It's a disability. It's in the DSM-6. So it's a learning disability. I never learned to give a fuck. I like to say that's a joke. So long story short, for some reason or another, women think they can control what I do, when I do it, where I do it. But in hindsight, it actually works in an opposite effect. They usually end up paying for my dinner, doing all these things, and then what? They think they own me? Hey, we got rid of that with the 13th Amendment. Am I right? So I don't get what the world wants from me other than I just want to be free. Free at last, free at last. Think Jesus Christ is Lord Almighty. I'm free at last, right?
All right, Illogic, I understand your
And also, you guys
perspective, but real quick,
people in here, send James some heart me's. Show some love to this guy.
appreciate
Send him
it.
some fucking heart me's right now. Right now. Let's see some heart me's. Heart me's.
Well, Logic, let me see if I can get a definition, because I know Tate said it doesn't exist, but does anybody want to posit a definition here that we can agree on?
Yep.
Yeah, I can probably offer that. It's just this social standard placed upon men to act in harmful ways. And maybe some examples of that might be some sort of social hierarchy that, men are perceiving themselves above women, or maybe like
That doesn't
something like
exist, by the
violence
way.
as a
So
solution.
let Jordan finish.
So real quick, Jordan, are you a trans person by chance?
I
Because,
just
so
don't
you
even know
that's
who I'm
another. I
talking.
have a bunch of
You
trans
sound
women that
drunk
follow
right
me
now.
around, and they went to make a bunch of slanders about me because I won't date trans women because I don't.
Yeah, sure.
They're not. They're
Sure
dudes.
they do illogical. I'm sure they
Trans
do.
women are dudes.
Okay.
Do you know what the main character syndrome
Just
is?
wait. Now that I said,
Illogical?
there's Mariella. Now that I said that, they're gonna show up. They're gonna
Yeah,
show up.
there's
Just wait.
that MPD showing
But
up
I'm never
right
gonna
there.
stop telling the truth.
Wait, illogical.
hey guys,
Can I ask
one
a
at a
question?
This guy is way more
Abortion
logical
isn't
than
healthcare. Healthcare
Jordan, for
doesn't
sure.
end with one
He's
patient
really
losing
living
their
up to
life.
Illogic,
Can I ask a
Illogic,
question?
let's
I'm gonna need you to
He's
chill.
living up to his username.
Logic,
Guys,
let's
guys,
stick.
guys,
So just so
guys.
you know, you guys, there's videos of people wishing that I got Charlie Kirk. So it's like,
Guys.
dude, that's crazy.
Illogical. Can I ask a
You should get
question?
fired for that.
This is your
I
live
said he's
post.
the next Charlie Kirk, and he should get the same thing. I'm like,
Can
So
I-
Logic, I'm
can
gonna rein
I
you in,
contribute the
guys.
definition?
Time out, guys.
No,
Guys, time out.
I just tell the
Everyone
truth.
talking
That's
for the
all.
next. Whoever's talking after 3 seconds, you're kicked. So
Abortion isn't
So
healthcare.
one,
Trans women are dudes. There we go.
2. All right. So Logic, you're gonna need to stay on
Can you
topic.
mute him? He's doxing me.
You're gonna need to stay on topic, Logic. Okay.
I know. Just real quick, second. That Courage guy, he's a trans woman, and he's currently doxing me, which is felony.
Look, man, I apologize for that. I can't necessarily do anything about that.
If you
but-
could just mute him real quick, because I don't want trans women to be able to speak. I'm not scared of him.
Well,
If you want
I'm-
to show up,
that's-
1957 East Battlefield Road,
All right,
Springfield,
Logic.
Missouri.
Logic,
Show
I'm
up,
at the
bitch.
I'm at to get you.
Well, you
I'm
just
at to get
doxed
you down.
yourself.
Logic, when you can Logic, you gotta cool down, man. Just reset in the chat if you're welcome back up, but you gotta stay on topic. So Jordan, we were talking about the toxic masculinity thing. When it comes to defining it, I'm looking at the definition, and it seems to fall under what you're saying. Basically, a person who has harmful expectations of themselves, gendered expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Logic, I'm gonna time you out for like 5 minutes. All right. Okay. So, what would be an example of that? Like men saying they should lead? Is that one or no?
Yes, there being like some inherent social hierarchy that places men above women in some way.
There aren't there that doesn't. So is that based? So is your definition based on the idea that does it presume that there are no such hierarchies that exist outside of
I would say
outside
that
of
the
mere
hierarchies
social
are socially
constructions?
constructed.
Okay, so are there no biologically informed hierarchies?
No I mean, I think that there's partnerships. I think
So-
that that's biologically clear.
A partnership.
Could you give an example of a biological hierarchy, host?
Male strength.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
Yeah,
men
but
are
women
going
have
to
a
have.
high pain tolerance and can give
Yeah,
birth.
but
Does
they're
that make them
vastly
stronger
weaker.
than
They're
men?
vastly weaker than
that's
men.
not true.
They're vastly weaker than men on a balance of probabilities.
But we
this
could
would this
literally
would this
give
would
birth and create life. So
Yeah, but you're
does
not
that make
able-
us stronger than
but
you in
you-
other ways.
but you would not be able to overpower a male stronger than you, and most men
And
are
what
stronger
about
than
women
women.
who are bodybuilders that are stronger than other men?
Exceptions
Does
to the
that make-
rule. Exceptions to the rule.
Well,
Giving
You're
birth
saying
is
you're
not
saying well, what about exception? I'm saying it doesn't
that
disprove the rule.
painful.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like men on average are not stronger than women, but I do think that it's trying to solve two different problems, right? Obviously, in the biological aspect, a man's maybe his biological role, if you really want to go down this line of thought, is to protect a woman while
Wait a minute, Jordan. That sounds bioessentialist, doesn't it? Ali, thanks for the follow.
well, I don't know how you're using the term bioessentialism.
Well, that's what I
but
that's
in
what I get.
metaphysics,
Everything, some things like that get thrown at me when I just say that what you just said.
bioessentialism is about essential and accidental properties, which is something like metaphysics, which I don't think is relevant here.
All right. Well, you're saying that you agree that there are biologically informed or strength being a biological reality and men's holding of that over women as an advantage. You agree that that does have merit here.
Well, I don't think that it creates hierarchy. I think that it offers an opportunity for some role to come about, but I don't think that role comes with a hierarchy.
So an example how it does and how we would see it practically out in life. Strength implies more strength implies a better ability to protect. So
Do
that
you think
implies
that
a
kind of
that
stuff
implies
is
a
relevant today?
yeah, because women still like protectors. Women still get women are still attracted to men who can elicit protective traits or who want to defend their honor or who make them feel safe, who make them feel like in danger they can be secure. These are not only biological things but also female enforced expectation in dating.
I mean,
So-
on the other side of the coin is like a man really likes when his wife gives birth to his children and cares for them in a way better than he probably could.
Yeah, but that would be her biological advantage, as in women are exclusively able to do that and cannot.
Yeah, no,
And,
I
but
agree.
men, but
Not
men are
anymore,
generally
not
exclusively
anymore.
able to protect.
Yeah,
in
I
ways that
Single
women
understand.
mothers
cannot
raise
do.
more violent kids than single dads. So I don't know what
Listen,
you're talking about.
all I'm trying to highlight is that there's unique advantages for each sex, right? So I'm trying to offer an idea that is non-hierarchical, but still recognizes these advantages.
Yeah, but here's how it doesn't play out, and it sounds ideologically okay, but practically it falls apart. For example, if something goes bump in the night, the man is going to need more authority because he's more responsible. He's more responsible. He's more responsible because he's expected to play on his gender role. His gender role is protecting. So if there's an
Why-
expectation, that's offset. So what about that?
Why do
Did
you
you not
think that
understand?
what
Well, I'll answer your
why do you
question,
think
but let me
that,
just
men are more
make the
responsible
point.
than a woman?
Let me just make the point real quick. Because if I had an egalitarian expectation, when something goes bump in the night, and I'm going to look to my wife to agree or give me authorization to protect, that's not only is it inconvenient, it's inefficient, and it gets in the way of the role as a man because I know what it's like, or because I have the capacity to protect and the capacity to dominate or defend. Women are
Well, I would say that
real quick, guys, real quick. On a balanced probability, a woman is not capable of doing that at all. If there were male assailants that came in, which they're generally going to be male, we're breaking in the burglary, I'm vastly more capable of defending than the woman ever could be. So because of that exclusive expectation, I have an exclusive responsibility. With that responsibility, I have a unique authority on that matter. So this would be how the egalitarianism does not work. That practical example.
Well, I would advocate
so real
for
quick, James,
something.
James, just 1 second. So white man, we all know you're sitting down there talking to yourself, dude. Good God, you are one
He's
smart
got the
guy.
stage.
So 1 second. He's the white guy down there. White man lives. He's talking to himself. He's got another panel account. And he's trying to act like he's having a conversation with.
Oh, white man.
No woman wants to have a conversation with you, buddy. You're not real. You're I don't know what he thinks he is. He doesn't think gravity's real.
Illogical. Are you a predator?
No.
You aren't.
Are you a predator, Jordan?
No.
Allegedly, can I ask you a question?
I'll allow
man
one
lives
last
guy is a
question,
predator,
Jordan, or I think that was Emily who said it, right?
Yeah.
White
Yes.
man lives. Come up here and address the accusations of what they said you did 2 weeks ago on that one live stream. That one time.
Dude, you gotta chill, man. I'm a block you, dude.
Yeah, come up
Allegedly,
here, buddy. Come up here,
can I
buddy.
ask you a question,
Let him up
please?
here. This will be funny, James.
No,
Yeah, go
what
ahead,
I'll
Mark.
do is if we can get the likes to 3,000, I'll entertain it.
Yeah, tap it up and send some heart me's.
If we can get the likes to 3,000, I'll entertain it. I'll entertain
that
the
white man,
joust.
So
He
that
just
white
follows
You
man,
me
guys,
around 'cause,
you guys have
he
1
used to
minute,
be he used
real
to be a
quick.
mod,
Wait,
we gotta
or
kick him off
logic.
because
One
he's
second. 1 second. So you guys got 1 minute to get the likes to 3,000, or else we're going to decline this 1v1.
Yeah, let's get it up there. You guys send some heart me's. Also,
Allegedly,
if
can I ask
Courage,
a question, please?
1 second. If Courage uses me as a way to message you, just know that's what he does. That's him trying to talk to you. That's how he talks to women. But then once they realize, like, hey, I don't want to talk to you anything about other than Uriah Michael Moore, then he kind of gets sad and depressed and makes little weird SpongeBob edits about. Go look at his page. It's literally just of me for the last year, and lots of them are like him fanboying me.
Oof.
Just recently has he started to become not liking me. So.
All right.
He's
Can
an
we
odd
just finish
guy.
our conversation and then I'm
I
gonna
w-
drop?
can I ask a question,
Yeah.
please?
So Emily,
Yes, go ahead,
Emily,
sweetheart.
go ahead and ask the question.
So there's multiple people in the comments talking
No,
about
those
you,
are just
right?
all him.
Hold
Can I
on,
finish,
logic.
please?
Let her ask.
Those are
I'm not
multiple
talking-
bot accounts.
Please let me talk. I'm not talking
Damn.
over
All
you.
right.
Please
Hey.
don't talk over me.
Well, you're gonna have to wait for that question.
Okay.
And then
I
there's a few
gotta
trolls
honor
around
my
him.
word. All right. So here's the ground rules, guys. Jordan, I know you want to finish the conversation, but I
There's no
gotta.
evidence, that's just a screenshot
Wait,
of
wait.
us.
So look, wait. Time out. Time out. Time out. Time out. Time
I
out.
could AI
Illogic.
anything.
Illogic. Illogic.
Age yourself real quick, buddy.
Illogic. All right. So
Age,
here's
state, and who'd you vote for?
white man. Can you give us your
Am I
age,
right?
please?
Age, state, who'd you
This
vote
is the
for?
kind of people that we don't want to
What?
calm
So I
down,
just want to
buddy.
get
No,
this
no,
Illogic,
no, no.
illogic.
Also,
If-
this guy tells people
I'm
he's
not gonna
BLK
mute.
and
Remember,
he's not.
guys, I don't mute. I just kick.
Remember, he
So
tells people he's BLK.
Okay, so I'm
and
gonna
he's
explain this real quick.
He-
no,
Dave, I'm
no,
gonna
no,
explain
no.
this
First
real
thing,
quick. So
listen to
if
my
you
listen to the
try
side.
to talk debate,
So
says
you got
Courage
3
on
seconds.
debates is
3,
an idiot that can't
2,
debate.
1. Okay.
Sorry, Jordan. Sorry, James.
The logic. You're
Thank
gonna have
you.
to let me just chill out. Just chill out. Okay. Here's the ground
Okay,
rules.
yeah,
You guys
sorry
are gonna
about that,
get
buddy.
5 minutes to flush this out.
Well, this
I
dude's just
just
gonna sit here and like flirt with
logic,
me.
logic. You get one more outburst,
Okay.
and I have to. I can't even do it. I'm bind right now. I had to get the 5 minutes because you guys got the 3,000 likes. So White man, what is your age? That's all I need.
Oh, my age is 27.
No,
All right,
that's a
thank you.
lie. We've actually proven that he's 45.
All right, so what is the issue? What is the issue?
This guy is a
No, no,
weirdo.
here,
He
we're gonna
believes
flip-
women, he can't
We're gonna
debate
flip
us,
my
and
wallet.
gravity's
No, no,
real.
time out. We're gonna flip my
I can-
wallet.
and if anyone
Whatever.
wants to know, I'll send you the
Illogic,
evidence.
illogic,
Glitch,
illogic.
nobody's panicking, sweetheart. Sit
Illogic.
down and take care of your
He actually
15
So-
has
kids.
2 active court cases
15
against him out of
kids.
Greene County, Missouri.
Oh my gosh, guys,
All right, yeah,
Can-
go ahead
can
and,
you let me-
slander
can you
real
let
quick.
me
I'm gonna
referee
screenshot
here?
this. Go
Can you
ahead and
let-
slander me real quick.
no, no, no.
Slander me. He'll say that. He'll say that, but he'll say slur me. What a weird odd
White
guy.
man. Do you want to go first, or are you gonna let Elijah go
I'd
first?
love to go first so I can go
Yeah,
ahead on it.
ladies
okay,
first.
so-
Ladies first. Go ahead.
All right, so you have a minute to make your point. Is that good?
Ryan Michael Moore is a predator slash rapist slash individual who abused his ex-wife Asia Marshall and Valentine Musisi.
Try and be TOS friendly too.
Okay, no problem. He has physically abused his two children, Uriah Jr. and Uzziah, of his 2 sons.
Don't
which
say
he-
my kids'
No,
names.
hold on,
Don't
Illogic,
say
Illogic,
children's
Not
names.
interrupt me.
Illogic,
I'm
let her-
weirdo.
let him finish.
Do not interrupt me.
So
Do not
Illogic, you
interrupt
gotta
me.
let him
You're
finish.
Don't say my
scared.
kids' names, weirdo. You're not saying
Yeah,
my
so
kids'
you know I'm
names,
right.
you weirdo.
Thank you very much.
You're not
Predator.
gonna say my
All right,
children's
all right. Well, yeah,
name, you
that's fair.
weirdo.
That's fair. White, keep the
Okay, so we'll
keep
go
the
with
names
that.
out of it.
Okay, no problem. So he currently has 2 active cases.
Okay,
one
no
for financial
problem.
fraud out of Greene County, Missouri, and he has another.
That's not true. What are you talking? Dude,
Illogic.
you can't just
Another
come up here and
divorce
Why
case.
is
Can you
he
please stop?
trending?
Can you please stop? I'm talking.
All right.
He has a
You
divorce
say I
case
have
that he is
fraud
actively
charges?
dodging
What are
out
you
of Greene
talking
County,
about, dumbass?
Missouri,
I got no
and he is
charges.
scared shitless to try to even let
Nobody's
anybody
scared of you,
explain.
dude.
All
That's
right.
why you keep trying to talk over me.
So I'm gonna give you
No,
30
you're
more
just- you're just
seconds
so
because
dumb.
Because Illogic's been cutting in.
No,
No,
I wasn't. Not that much.
you're being
Just
disruptive.
I taught this guy how to read, James.
Hey.
He has made active slander against me, using slurs against me as my protected basis,
So
being an active.
slandering someone.
Illogic,
isn't slurring
Illogic,
someone,
come
right?
on, man.
Against me because I'm
Dude,
disabled.
I gotta teach him while he's up
Look.
here, James. I'm sorry.
No,
So
but you
you
gotta.
just said
We
I
had
made active
Illogic,
slander
Illogic.
by
We have to have
slurring you?
decorum.
Can we dive in on that, James?
We can, but you have to
He
first.
doesn't know words.
Illogic. If you keep,
I know.
if you
I'm
keep
sorry,
doing
James.
this,
I just
dude.
don't like stupid people.
that's fine. But we're still gonna have
I'm not
decorum here.
racist. I just don't like stupid people. You know?
Hey, man. So, anyways, from my understanding, white man, basically he has a bad relation with his family members and his kids, and he has some active cases. Basically, that's the issue.
Right. He just.
Oh,
that's
wait,
a
now he's
concession,
gone.
So, what a put.
Okay,
What
maybe
a
he disconnected.
wonderful, a little genius.
All right.
Wait,
So
so
that's all just
James-
real quick. 1 second. So that's all just a lie. And there you go.
Yeah, no problem. So
No,
did I
you
did I
ran.
summarize
He
your
actually has an active case against him out of Tulsa County, Oklahoma, which is
None of that is true. I've never been into, dude.
The court case number
you
is
just gotta learn how to read, buddy. You gotta learn how to read. You gotta learn how to read.
2368. He has a case out of Tulsa County, Oklahoma, and is currently an active case for a protective order against his wife, Valentine.
That's not
Musisi.
true. at
wait?
all.
So then what? How is this? Or why does this
Dude,
matter?
you just
White
got-
man, why does
We're
this?
working with a group to actively get this individual off the platform because he is an active threat.
Dude,
to
you don't have the
Oh,
group. You
I
have
see.
like 3,000 bot followers. Your bots
All right.
aren't
So
gonna do
now,
anything.
so
Hey,
now,
real
white.
quick,
So white
why
man.
do you bot your account?
Okay,
Is it
more
so you
slander,
can
but- okay,
show
so you
young
just
women
wanna
that you
keep
think you have
slandering
followers?
because of the fact that you know
that's
you have
not-
two active
go look
cases
at his
against you,
followers. They're
predator.
just a bunch of bots, dude.
No, because you're a predator out of
No,
Springfield.
you're the
Missouri. You
predator,
know who
dude.
you are,
You literally come up here and act like you debate, and I called you out on it, and that's why you
because you
started
are a
acting like
predator
this.
out of
Here, mute
Springfield,
him up, bro.
Missouri.
It's
He has
my
two
time to
active
talk, right,
cases
James?
against
So-
him
My
out
time
of
to
Greene
talk,
County,
right?
Missouri.
So white.
My time to talk,
So here's
right?
the thing, white. Here's the thing. Now, Illogic, you have 1 minute to counter.
Thank you. And if White could stay muted like I did.
No,
that'd be
no,
No, you
it's,
didn't at all.
you didn't
That's
stay
it,
muted.
that-
You
that's
didn't stay
not good
muted,
faith,
Logic.
bud.
you're not-
Logic, you were cutting him off every
So,
time.
what-
You were doing
No,
the
I
same
wasn't.
thing. You're so full
You know
of
what,
shit,
dude?
Well,
calm
white,
down,
well,
bud.
white. Just so we don't inflame it, the audience sees it. If you just want to just
mute up.
chill
Yeah,
out. I'm
good
not gonna
job.
mute you. I
Yeah,
don't mute people.
That's a good going. So, long
1
story
minute.
short,
Yep.
one time this guy essentially said that he could smash a Nintendo DS baddie. When I say Nintendo DS, I mean like someone, instead of going up, you'd go down, and then someone has a syndrome. Yeah, he said he could have intercourse with someone who has Nintendo DS. Just putting that out there. That was weird. He can't debate. He's not very smart. He was a mod for me, right? And he'd heard all these dumb accusations, and then he's made even dumber ones, because he can't read. So slander is, he doesn't have any money, so he knows that, right? He kind of lives off the government, but I don't know. Maybe Courage could lose his. I don't know. I'm not really that worried about Courage. Not that really that good at doing anything. I'm not worried about slander, right? At the end of the day, no one believes you, Courage. Not that smart. You thought gravity wasn't real. Like, dude, seriously? So I've never said a racist word in my life, obviously. Anything that Courage says is just AI. He made an AI video of a young 18-year-old rapping like Eminem or something. Like, I don't even know how he did that. That was actually pretty impressive, Courage. I don't know how you did that.
All right, so now your minutes up. Now who wants to? Who wants?
The one
So
thing is though is I think he's on the app so he can flirt with 18-year-olds. That's why he's doing this.
Hey,
campaign
well,
as because
ultimately-
he messages young girls
okay.
about me. That's
Okay,
the
so
only
now-
thing you can talk about.
So
is
now
when you look at
here's
his
here's the
page.
thing.
He's
Here's
a
the thing.
fanboy.
Next
He's
thing,
a
illogic.
fanboy.
Illogic.
You got a fanboy?
Illogic. So here's the next thing.
I'm a Nintendo fan.
You guys are going to be able to cross-examine each other. I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to do that. Okay, 2 minutes. So who wants to go first?
Glitch, you also
So
real quick,
here's-
Glitch,
here's-
so one
no,
second,
no,
there's a
illogic,
woman
no,
on the
no,
app that's
no,
38 dating a
illogic,
16-year-old.
illogic.
Free logic.
Illogic. Here's how it goes. We have cross-examinations. The only person who can ask the questions is the person cross-examining. Okay.
Okay. Are you
No.
going to cross-examine me, sir?
No, it's going to be between you and White.
Oh, I thought this. I think you should come in like a judge.
Look, I'm
also,
I'm
real
just a
quick, White,
referee here.
Hey, do you see his? That's what's called waves. That's based.
Appreciate
You don't have waves. You don't have waves, white man.
it.
So the thing is white man tells people he's be okay. Turn your camera on right now.
I like
All
to
right.
protect the identity from people on the internet. Thank you very
So
much.
Turn your
White,
camera on
White,
right now, buddy.
so who wants to
Stop
cross-examine?
telling people you'll be okay.
Who wants to cross-examine first?
I'd love to cross-examine.
Ladies first. Ladies first.
All right. So now remember illogic. The rules are you can only answer questions. You cannot ask them, and you cannot filibuster. If you do, I'm just. If you do,
Okay.
it's a foul, and I'm gonna
Okay.
have to add time.
Can you make the stipulation that he can only answer after I've asked the full question?
Will you agree to that,
I'm really
illogic?
gonna cry about it.
Illogic, will you agree to
Dude, I
that?
hang out with James all the time.
Illogic, will you agree to that?
Yeah, I will. As long as he will agree to telling us that he's not a BOK person and he's been lying about it.
Will you agree to the terms, white man?
I agree to these so-called terms. Okay.
So you're not a BOK person and you've just been lying about it the whole time?
No, I'm agreeing to what your statement is. I know that I'm
That's
African
literally what
American.
I just said. Is if you'll, dude, that's crazy.
I am African American.
Canceled. All right, explain to them how you're African
All
American.
right.
Go
Well,
ahead.
the cross-examination
I'm gonna go
starts.
ahead and answer my question.
One second. Let me get the time.
You're
Let me get the
gonna
time.
answer your questions.
No,
How you
he's
gonna
gonna-
do that?
All right.
Good God.
All right.
Wait, host.
Yes, Emily. Oh, you know
This
what?
is
My
literally
apologies. Time out.
revenge of
Time
the
out. We
murderers.
gotta pause it. We
If
have to
you guys
pause
send
this.
this dude a heartbeat,
Illogic,
you're getting
illogic.
free entertainment.
We gotta pause it. Emily, my
Give
apologies.
James a heartbeat.
I completely
don't worry
I
about
completely bogarted your question. You tried to ask it like
Also, Emily, if
twice.
he tries to DM you, don't do it.
So
Just talk about
Emily gets her question before this goes. Emily, you have the
Go
floor.
ahead, sweetheart.
Okay, so Noam, please don't talk over me.
I
So
won't.
my question was, if you're so innocent, and with all the proof that's in the comments and what white man is talking about, why are you getting so defensive? Because if you're
What do you mean?
innocent,
I'm not getting offended.
no, please don't talk over me.
Does let her
Just
finish?
Do not talk over me.
I have
So
never
if
crashed
no,
out once in my
please don't
life,
talk
sweetheart.
over me.
I don't get defensive.
Can you
sweetheart.
please shut up
I
and
have
not talk over me?
narcissistic personality
being
disorder, and you're
respectful.
not going to be an ableist.
Host, can you
okay?
mute him, please?
I don't mute people here.
All right, okay,
think
sorry.
she's being a
Illogic.
little bit of
Chill
an
out.
ableist.
Chill out.
I'm not
Illogic.
gonna-
Chill out.
Okay,
Listen,
all right.
I'm not the one crashing out. You're talking over me.
All right. Back to
Clearly
the
you have no
question.
self.
Emily, back to the question.
Right. So if you're so innocent, why are you getting so defensive, acting childish, and all the proof is in the comments about your court case? If you're so innocent, you're getting so defensive and acting childish.
Wait,
No
so
innocent
how
man
do
would
you
do
put
that.
proof into the comments about a? What are you talking about?
Is that the end of the? Is that the end of
I'm
your
gonna type-
question,
I'm
Emily?
gonna type
Emily,
some.
is that the end of your
Yeah.
question? All
Yeah,
right.
that's my end question.
So go ahead and answer that, Illogic.
I don't understand the question.
I said
All
you
right,
can
well,
type
let
it.
me-
I could just type that in the chat and say that's your court case and be like, there you go. Anyone can lie. Humans can lie. There's my answer. Go ahead.
All right. I think
You
that's
didn't
a.
know
I think that's a
humans- you didn't know
fair.
humans can lie.
I think that's a fair. I think that's a fair answer. Emily, are we good now with your question?
Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry
Oh,
about
there's
it.
Linda
All right.
Ann, one of my #1 fans. Welcome to the flock, sweetheart. Linda
All right,
Ann. Also,
so-
we're calling her out later because Mason's dad is sick of you messaging her. So
Illogic. Now we're gonna. It's White Man's turn for his cross examination.
well, wait, she needs to ask Courage a question too.
No. Are you ready for White's examination?
She needs to ask her.
Illogic,
Yeah,
are you
go
ready
ahead.
for the
Yeah,
question?
go ahead. Go ahead.
All right.
sir.
White, are you ready?
Go ahead, ma'am. Sorry, I don't want to misgender White Man.
Yes, sir. I'm correct.
All right. 2 minutes.
Okay. So, illogical. Is it true for a statement of fact that your name is a government name?
Hey, no
Uriah?
doxing. No doxing. We're not doxing here.
Okay. So, is it fair to say that your name is Uriah Michael Moore?
We're
He
not
just said
doxing.
not to
We're
do
not
that.
doxing.
Okay. So, I won't use his full name. Is it fair to say that your name is Uriah Moore?
You don't need.
We're
to
not
BDSM
doxing, guys. We're
Come
just
on, you're not even letting me answer the right question.
no, that's
Okay.
not. That's low ball. Come on, come on.
Good God, dude! I'm
All right,
telling
fine.
you,
Okay.
this
Is
guy's
it true
not
that you
that
have
smart.
two? Is it true that you have two biracial children?
I'm not talking about kids, dude. What the heck?
I didn't say their names. I'm asking you a question.
I'm not talking about kids on here. That's weird. It's 18 plus.
Is it true that you had a wife?
Why are you so
Sorry.
concerned about kid
Is
children?
it true that you had two wives that were African
I'm
American?
not talking about any of my women to you.
I'm asking you a question. Please
Previous,
stop dodging.
ex, future. Not talking
Please
about any
stop
of my
dodging
women,
the
bro.
question. I asked you a question. You're
No,
failing.
I am. I'm not talking about any of my
You're
women.
failing
to
to
you.
contend, and it's making you look guiltier. Please answer the question.
So I'm not talking about any of my
You're
women.
failing to
These are
contend.
questions that I will engage with. Go ahead.
You're failing to contend, so that means that you're
That's
looking
not a word. I've answered your question. I don't need to
No,
talk
you have
about
not
women
answered
that
any
aren't
of my
here.
questions so
I
far.
don't
Okay,
talk about
is it
women
true
on
that
the
you have a
internet like
case-
you do.
okay,
That's illegal.
Is it true that you have a case
could
out
be
of Tulsa
considered
County,
illegal.
Oklahoma that is numbered PO 2024-2898? Is that correct?
Could you say that one more time?
Is it true that you have a case out of Tulsa County, Oklahoma, numbered PO-242, PO-2024-2898 out of Tulsa County, Oklahoma? Is that correct?
No.
That's not correct.
The answer is no.
So you're saying that that's not factually true?
Yes, the answer is no.
Okay, so you don't have a dissolution of marriage case out of Tulsa County, Oklahoma. That's not correct?
No.
Okay, so
And also, a dissolution of marriage case isn't. So you
Okay, so
just
do you
caught
know what
yourself
that
in a
means, though?
contradiction.
No,
and tried to
no,
say it
no,
was
no,
some
no,
sort of
no.
bad thing, and
Last,
then
so
also
last,
the-
no,
Also
Logic,
follows up to the
quiet,
second
quiet.
question.
Last
Linda,
question.
we already have you clip saying that you lied about everything.
White, last question.
You think I didn't just let you? You think I just let you talk to Raven that whole time? I wasn't just
Wait, Logic,
recording it?
focus
You'll record
up.
it when you come on TikTok. Sorry, I had to tell Linda. Something.
Yeah, well,
She-
stop looking in
Hey,
the, stop looking in the,
James, she thinks she's a smart woman.
look, I'm not paying attention to the chat. Go ahead, Logic. You're going to answer one last question from White.
My last question. In conjunction with this case numbered PO-2024-289,
Never heard of that case number.
Tulsa County, Oklahoma, is it not true that in conjunction with this case that there was an emergency protective order granted against this woman who was named as your ex-wife in the proceedings? Is that correct or no?
Never heard of this case number.
You've never heard of this case number, but your name is 100% on it.
Okay, apparently you got the wrong guy. Don't know.
It matches exactly with your government name, but that's beside the point.
Okay,
So you're saying
so
that's
you
not
don't
true.
even know.
All right, so that was the last question. So now,
But there's my official answer.
White,
Never
White,
heard
are
of
you
that.
ready for are you ready to answer questions from Illogic for
Also,
2
real quick,
minutes?
could I have Chase up here as a witness?
No,
'Cause he
we're
can
not going to
actually
have,
vouch-
we're not going to do any
Chase
witnesses.
request up. He's one of my witnesses.
We're
for
not
what
doing
I'm
any
asking
witnesses
about.
That's
here.
one of his true leaders.
Look, this
No,
isn't a
it's not.
court. This isn't a court. This is
Wait,
just a
host-
debate where I'm going to have
Well,
cross
just so you know, it's a
examination.
young man who can validate that Courage was talking to his 17-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to stack. I'm not going to stack
So Emily, hey,
the
Chase,
board.
message Emily. Message Emily. let her
Look,
know
Chase,
that.
I'm not going to let you up just
So-
for
No
yes.
worries. Just message
Go-
Emily.
what is
She
it,
wants
Emily?
to white knight, so make sure you white knight.
Yeah,
Emily,
Chase
what's
is a
up?
minor, by the way.
No, he's not. He's
Why are you
18.
talking about me?
So make sure you message Emily and prove that.
So I actually have a screenshot of that court date of you being violent towards women. So I actually got
That's
sent
not
a
true.
screenshot.
So that's not true, right? So it's my turn to ask.
I can show
Courage
it.
something.
All right, so we can
I'm not sure
allow
why
for
we
for
interrupted.
more after this, but
But you can't have
So-
a screenshot of something that's not
no,
true, right?
the logic.
That real quick,
You
You
Emily.
might
White.
be misinterpreting. but
Emily,
maybe read it
Emily,
again.
quiet
It's my turn
down.
to
That's
talk.
up to the
Emily,
host.
Emily, quiet
So go
down.
ahead, sweetheart, and
White.
quiet down.
White, are you ready to answer the questions from Illogic?
Yes, not a problem.
Illogic, are you ready for your
Alright.
2 minutes?
Yes.
All right, you're
Yes, I
starting
am.
now. When it's going to start when you talk.
So, actually, one second. Could I please have your full name and address, sir?
I don't.
No
dox myself on the
doxing.
internet,
No
so-
doxing.
Okay, just to confirm. So after one time, I learned, James, and I won't do it again. So, Courage, do you ever actually debate on this app? And when's the last time you did? When's the last time you
Last
did?
time about 3 days ago.
3 days ago. All right. So, what else do you do on the app?
I debate a numerous amount of topics, political.
Well, what do you do
geopolitical
mostly
issues,
on the app? Like, what would you say you spend most of your time doing? Messaging?
Debating.
No,
Mostly.
in your messages?
Debating mostly.
No, not that's not true. So, also, are you
I
married?
answered your question.
Are you married to a Filipino
Yeah.
woman?
Yes, I am.
Or do you just play clippets of a Filipino person talking when you're on the live show?
No, I am married to my Filipino wife for 4 years.
And then also, what's your age?
27.
And your birthday. Immediately, without thinking. Immediately, without thinking. Immediately, without thinking. Immediately, without
I'm not
thinking. What's
giving
your
you
birthday?
personal
What's your birthday?
information.
What's your birthday?
I'm
Okay,
not
because you're
giving you
not
personal
27.
information.
Because he's 45, ladies and gentlemen.
He just said
So,
no doctor.
just so you know, Omen has, well, that's just an age. So, and you don't even agree that
I'm
that's
not
your age.
doxing myself.
But
That's
Omen has
personal
already
information.
provided me with quite a lot of information.
Okay, so now that's more threats that are actively being recorded.
No, it's not.
All right,
Omen
White.
provided
White.
me with information.
Just answer
I never said
questions,
what it
White.
was. It's just information about
All right,
a boy.
Illogic. Next question.
So fine.
Next question is, why are you harassing an 18-year-old boy who simply wants to learn?
That's begging the
Threatening
question.
to unalive him.
That's
And I can
begging
tell
the
you
question.
the screenshots.
Begging the question.
What do you mean begging? I'm asking you, why are you doing that to Chase?
That's begging the question and doesn't have a
Why are
conclusion.
you threatening to unalive a simple young 18-year-old man?
That's begging the question and it's not conclusive.
What do you? I'm asking you why you're doing that. What do you
It's
mean?
begging the question. Do you not understand what I'm saying? It's begging the question and it's non-conclusive.
So that's not true, Glitch. I actually make people send their license before they mod or anything. Unlike
No,
Lindsay.
you don't.
So
Uriah. No,
unlike
you don't.
Lindsay, who was talking to Logic, who actually is 16, and they're
Okay,
still
more
dating.
rhetoric.
So don't ever let Logic debate again on the app. He's 16. I guess in 2 years he can.
All right, Illogic.
But he's
What's your
already been-
Illogic? Think about this. You got one last question.
So yeah, I mean he didn't answer that question though.
What's your last question?
He just kept on like avoiding the question now.
Do you have any
I
other
said
questions,
that's begging the
Illogic?
question.
Do you have one other question, or are you good?
What was the last question, Courage?
You were the one asking the question. What are you talking about? You were the one asking the
I
question.
forgot. You know, I forget. What was the last question?
No, you didn't ask the question.
You asked.
No,
You
I
asked.
asked you, and you said you're begging.
You
like,
have
were
one
saying
last
something.
question. Ask the question.
Well, what was the last thing I was asking?
You're
then?
asked.
Maybe
You're
you
talking
can-
about Chase, and why is he pestering Chase?
So why are you pestering Chase? There we go. Pestering.
I'm actively exposing Chase for the acts that he has done in conjunction with you and your heinous acts,
Such as what?
such as being a predator, such as being a person
How
who
is
creates
he a
women and
predator?
children.
How is an 18-year-old
Because he's
a
actively
predator?
supporting you and actively condoning it.
How does that? He doesn't send any money or nothing. What do you mean?
He's actively supporting you and condoning it by defending.
All
you.
right.
You've
So
lived with an old
now
woman.
the questions
So
are
that gives
the
you the right
questions
to
are.
harass an 18-year-old boy? He's
That's
just a
leading
boy.
the
All right.
question. That was never stated.
Now,
He's just a boy.
no. Here's the last part. Here's the last part. You guys are gonna get. Now here's the last part. You guys are gonna get 3 minutes to flush this out, and then we're done.
Okay. Well, how do we do
Okay,
that?
so I just wanted to say one thing. Emily does have the screenshot able to post on green
No,
screen. if you
Emily's not
want
a
to
dude,
show it.
dude. This is hey, whoa. Hey, come
Yeah,
on,
I'm not gonna.
this is
I'm
If I can
encouraging.
post
look.
That
If
is
you
part
wanna.
of
If you
fleshing it
wanna
out.
look. If you.
You're not scared of it,
Look,
Uriah.
real quick,
So-
I need Emily's help. We
if-
can do that after
Okay,
flushing.
let
You know,
Emily
you've
show
never
it. That
been
is
I'm
here.
not
You know what
helping you,
flushing it
Emily.
out
factual
is?
information.
That's like,
It
don't
is
come on
factual information.
James's space and act like you know what flushing
Here,
it
James,
is.
It is
it's up
No,
to you
if-
if I
if-
can show up.
If
It's your right.
Yeah,
no, here's.
show Chase's information. Show what he showed.
So here's the thing. I don't think it's fair. It's 2v1 now, and now we have a evidence jeopardy coming up. I don't think this is fair. If
But
if
it's
a logic will
relevant to
allow
the
it,
topic at
if a
hand.
logic will
Well,
allow
keep
it,
in mind I'm
that would be
Jewish, so
one
they're
thing.
probably anti-Semitic.
But if White, if you want to disseminate that information to White, and then he wants to do that, that would be fair. But I'm not going to allow if it's in between White right now and a logic.
Shouldn't he have the false accusation since he's? But, yeah,
It's not false accusations. It's actually part of court record on actual.
Hey, buddy, you
consent.
just probably don't know how to read. I don't know.
So now I'm
It's
starting.
part
I'm
of
starting the
court
time,
record.
guys. I forgot. I'm starting the time now. 3 minutes. So
Okay,
flush this
so I'll
out.
sort this out. So let's go ahead and let's do this right in front of 56 people. Why are you pro-choice? Go ahead. This is how we flex it out. Because I don't think you actually know how to debate. I think you're on here to try to flirt with young women, even though you're married.
That's
'Cause if you want to
obfuscating.
flirt with young
That's
women that are 18
obfuscating.
plus, you can, but not if you're married.
That is obfuscating.
Okay,
and
whatever. Let's
need what I
debate.
have
Then
to
you
talk
can.
to other
I'll
people.
take the pro-life stance. Take pro-choice. Go ahead
go
and
ahead.
tell me why is it okay for a woman to abort her baby?
Because she has sole autonomy rights over her own body, and anyone that goes into her body being an entity or an outside entity that is
Slow
not.
it down. Nobody understands that. Not even you.
The woman has ownership over her own body, and by logic dictates that she has the ability to do it as she sees fit with her own body for her own health care and upkeep.
All right. So if a woman wanted, so you're saying a woman has full bodily autonomy over her body? Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. So if a woman wanted to get a tattoo of CP on her forehead, could she?
She has the ability to do so.
That's disgusting.
That's not
All
saying
right,
you can't do it,
so
that's
let's
saying you
move
can't
on.
do
So
it.
let's say a woman.
That is
Go ahead.
That is the
So,
premise of pro-choice: the ability to do something, not saying you have to do it. So, would you like to keep getting cooked here, brother?
okay. So 1 second. So let's go ahead and you don't want to know what it is, but Courage probably is an expert on it. So long story short, let's move on to another one. So
So you're just going to
You
run from the
are
fact the
hanging
premise
out
that I
with-
just cooked you on. Okay.
No, you didn't. I mean, you didn't unalive
That's
on
why
your
you're
bill, but
refusing
that's
to
a.
contend with my statement.
So, hey, buddy, I don't know what you're into. I
Hey,
know you're
buddy,
from
you're
like
refusing to contend
California
with the
and they're
statement.
weird up there.
You're
but whatever.
refusing to contend with the statement.
So
Which shows
whatever.
ignorance.
So I'm gonna ask you another one. Can we calm down, sweetheart?
Can you calm down?
Calm down, sweetheart.
Can you
So-
calm down, buddy?
You're just copying me.
I'm not copying you. You didn't say buddy one time.
Hey, look at you though, not bowing down to me. Like I taught you how to
I
be a
never
man,
did.
didn't I? Taught you how to
never
be.
did.
Yes,
I
you
told
did. You used to be
I'm
my
100%
bitch.
against you.
When
I
you
will
were a
be
mod,
against you.
no. When you were a mod, you sat there and you were my dog. And look at you trying to be a man. I'm proud of you, Courage.
I
But
have no idea
remember,
what
when you
you're
play chess, you are playing chess, right? So keep going there, right? So, moral of the story: you're just like a pawn, buddy. I'm not. You're just like Linda Ann's pawn, bud. So no worries. So, and actually, if you think about it, Courage, you're actually helping out my side of the chessboard.
That's why I'm
so.
logging you right
Well,
now.
no, dude, you're slandering me so stupidly that it's like gonna be so easy to just like be a millionaire.
Then sue
I'm
me.
not. No, I'm not going to. I would never do that to
Then
you.
you can't say
I
slander.
also have a disability myself.
Yeah, I
Listen,
was
no, yeah, no, no. So your slander's tied in, and I believe that Linda Ann. So I truly believe Linda Ann is forcing a narcissistic personality disorder. So
That's
what?
not
We're not.
disability,
We're,
buddy.
yes, it is. It's on the
That's not
DSM-6.
disability under the
It's
DSM.
on the
5. No, it's not.
DSM-6.
No, it's not on the DSM-5. Which
Yes,
is the
it is. It's on the
now.
DSM-6, which is the
No,
newer
it's not.
version.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Pull up
it
your
is.
facts,
So
your
back to
sources.
pro-choice. Back to pro-choice. I
Pull up
don't
your
define my.
facts and cite
Hey,
your
I don't
sources,
define
Uriah.
myself by my
Your
disability.
facts and cite your sources, Uriah.
We're better than that, buddy.
Pull up
So-
your facts and cite your sources. Oh, we're better than citing sources and citing facts? Okay.
Okay,
We're better
so
than
let's
that.
get back to it. So a woman
Back to what
is
listen to
20,
you
let's say
have
she's
to
20,
back.
she's 19 years old, and she has a blind date, an actual blind date, right? She goes blindfolded, so does he. 6 months later, she gets a phone call from this guy because he kind of misses her. He's a fine, young African-American gentleman. And unfortunately for the baby, or the fetus that you might call it, or the clump of cells that some might call it, this fine young woman, on the outside, she might be beautiful, but on the inside, not quite. She's a YT supremacist. And now she's going to abort her baby because she does not want to have a BLK man's baby. Is that okay, white man?
All right, so
Courage?
the white man, the time is up, but if you want to answer, you can.
Because that breaks the rules of logic, because it's logically inconsistent with the fact of what pro-choice stands for. Pro-choice stands for the ability of being able to take the choice for yourself in your own means, not saying as to whether or not an ideology has a sway over one side or the other. You understand this and you know this very well, but you're
So
framing
can
it.
she abort the baby, yes or no? It's a yes or no question.
The pro-choice stance is the ability to choose.
Can she abort this baby, yes or no?
She has the ability to,
Can
yes.
she abort this baby, yes or no?
She has the ability to. No one is telling her to
So
do so.
can she? She wants to. She wants to go abort it. Doesn't want the BLK baby inside of her. Get it out of me. Get it out of me. Get it out of me. Can she? Yes or no?
You're framing it in a very dishonest
Can
and bad
she?
way.
Yes or no, please.
You are framing it in a very
Yes,
bad
yes or
faith,
no. Yes or
dishonest
no.
fashion.
Yes or no.
Yes or no. Yes or no. Okay, Cartman. So the fact that you're framing this in a
Hey,
dishonest
that's anti-Semitic, buddy. Cartman was Jewish too.
I
don't.
I really
And that's
don't
also based.
understand
I
what
am a
has to
grown-up
do with
Cartman.
this.
So, long story short, yes or
I
no?
don't understand what it has to do with
Yes
this.
or
Why I'm
no?
not
Can
giving
she
you
abort the
intelligence.
BLK baby because she's a YT supremacist? Yes or no?
Ideologies do not have a part to
It's
play
a
in
yes or no
pro-choice.
question.
All right,
Yes or
guys.
no blank
So
spot.
that's
breaks
where
Yeah,
we're
that was a
gonna.
good session.
Yeah, so that's
breaks
where we're gonna
logic.
concede that. We're gonna concede that, and I think you guys have gotten your time.
Yeah, that was a pretty good debate, White. You took a pretty big loss, but I wouldn't expect any less from you. You tried, and I appreciate you for that. Good job.
I'm not the one with an active case against my ex-wife on the internet.
Neither am I. W
You
W
are,
to
and
me and
you're
you.
fully on there. You're
All
doing
right,
so
guys.
well.
Well, I'm gonna reset the panel here. I'm gonna leave Emily up because she was here before.
And leave me up too.
Nope, the logic we've had.
James.
We're gonna reset
James.
the logic and
James.
white man. Yes.
Whatever.
what's-
All right. Still love you, buddy.
Yeah. Thanks for coming up, Logic. Appreciate it.
All right.
White. Thanks for coming up.
Thank you, James.
Appreciate
No
it.
problem, James. I appreciate it.
You guys are welcome back up. So, Emily, we were
um,
talking about.
the
Thanks for the
screenshot-
follow too. I'm not. I don't think it's fair. It was a 1v1. That's what me in the chat agreed to. I'm not gonna allow for any 2v1s. So I'm not gonna be.
I was just gonna say
The conversation
Um,
as I've wiped your memory from this conversation. I'm wiping chat's memory.
that's okay.
We're not going to be giving any more evidence. Awari, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the likes, guys. I appreciate it. So Emily, that was a contentious thing. Chase, yapping, I'm not letting you guys up because it's just going to be to discuss
That's
that
interesting.
what just transpired. Debates. Let me see. Debates. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, dude?
How is it going today?
It's going pretty good.
Are you
Yeah,
here for
I would say
the
it's going pretty
previous conversation we had, like the conversation we were just having, or are you here for the prompt?
I mean, I can be here for the prompt, the previous conversation, or the P3DO that you had on your panel.
Yeah, so I'm not going to be discussing the topic that Illogic and White were having. So we're going to dead that from here on.
That's fine.
Yapping,
I can
I'm
just
yapping.
send
I'm not letting you up
the,
because I know you're on. Whose side? You're on freaking White's side. So I'm not letting you up, yapping. We're gonna, unless you want to talk about that other, unless you want to talk about something else. Yapping, respond to me in the chat. Are you here to talk about that the so-called case and White and Illogic's beef, or are you here to talk about the prompt? Let me know in the chat. I'm watching. I'm looking at
Wait,
it.
so can I talk about the prompt?
Oh, of course.
Okay, so just new subject. Anyways, about the prompt, I just want to ask, why are you anti-feminist?
Yeah, so we can go back to what I was explaining to Jordan. I see feminism as causing a bad environment for dating between men and women. And that would be one reason why I'm a feminist. There are many others, but just for the sake of the prompt to make it relevant. So we were talking about toxic masculinity. And when I look at the term, I see a cultural concept describing how rigid, extreme, and exaggerated social norms for men, such as demanding physical toughness, emotional stoicism, and violent dominance, cause harm. The issue with this type of language is it's biased, and it depends on your ideological worldview, whether you would see things as extreme, harmful, or dominating. So even the language itself is kind of like incoherent, because a chair would be a chair. We can universally recognize that, but oftentimes these new definitions come off as they're obviously feminist coded. They come from feminist academics, institutions, so the bias is basically baked into their definition. And the reason why I would say they're incoherent is because one person would say it's rigid, another person would say it's practical. One person would say it's extreme, another person would say it makes sense, it's reasonable. One person would say it's harmful, but
I
another
don't
person
really
would.
want to be on a panel with someone who wants to panel pedophiles, so I'll see you, dude.
All right, F off. So anyways, so regarding toxic masculinity, can you see how the term itself can be ambiguous?
Like, I kind of understand where you're coming from, but like I don't want to be biased or anything, but I am a feminist, but
Yeah,
I
that's fine.
do believe that women should have the same rights as a man. I'm not one for slandering men or anything like that. And as you said earlier on, most women, or no, some women say, oh, it's all men. Like, I don't believe it is, and I don't think women should be saying that. Like, I understand where they're coming from, but at the end of the day, I still want to agree with it, kind of.
You want to agree?
No, I said I wouldn't agree with
You wouldn't agree with the
them saying
the
it's all
framing and how
men.
they're framing it. Yappin,
Kind of,
you didn't
yeah.
respond to me, so I'm not letting you up, Yappin. I asked you a direct question, you didn't respond. So let me see. Host, I'll debate you on. Okay, you'll debate me on feminism. Great. All right, Yappin, thanks for coming up. I know it's
For
been
sure,
a uphill battle for you to get up here.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And did you want to speak to what was just said, the conversation I'm having with Emily regarding toxic masculinity?
Yeah, for sure. So I think that masculinity can be toxic. For example, if it causes you to beat your wife and children. But I mean, my main focus whenever it comes to feminism and how I would define feminism, right, is quite simple. Right, feminism is just going to be defined as the empowerment of women and protection of femininity. I think that these two things are, not only necessary, right, but are unfortunately, in your view, inevitable in order to maintain a productive society, et cetera, et cetera. We can look at the history of feminism,
We can look at how, feminism has affected societies, but none of this, is going to correlate directly to my definition without you building a bridge to it. Does that all make sense?
Yeah. So would you speak to toxic masculinity?
Yeah, for sure. I think that essence or things within masculinity can be toxic. For example, I think that modern Victorian Stoicism is extremely toxic, the one that, supports the complete suppression of emotion, right? I think that that's horrible, right? Now, if we want to talk about, early forms of Stoicism or Greek Stoicism, that might be something that I'm in favor of, but that's not something that would fall under the category of, toxic masculinity. I think as soon as we acknowledge that, masculinity as a concept can change and evolve over time, can change and evolve over time, then we necessarily realize
If what can change and evolve over time?
masculinity as a concept.
All right. So then you also brought up Victorian versus Greek, and it's not really
sure.
defined here. Definition. Obviously, it's just an AI Wikipedia derived definition. Do you think this
That's
is
fine.
not, you
I
think this
can-
is too simplified, or is it not
Yeah, I
robust
can-
enough? Or
I mean, I can lay out the differences between them if you'd like.
well, Stoicism. So when a person's talking about Stoicism, what do you think their general understanding of Stoicism is?
Yeah, for sure.
If you
I
just if
think
you're just gonna
this-
pull
I
a
think
random
this
person
modern-
and if there's a fishbowl
For
of
sure.
people and you're just gonna pull one out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think this, this modern interpretation of Stoicism as, this reluctance to, show emotion, right? The stiff upper lip, don't show your emotions in public. I think that that's necessarily toxic. I think that people should be able and be expressive in their emotions, right? I think that having a good EQ is something that is like definitively positive, right? And I think that this modern version of Stoicism, again, this like Victorian Stoicism, the one that is more popular, especially among like, red pill streamers, red pill streamers is extremely toxic.
All right. So when it
And I think
comes,
And I think it leads to, just for, one more comment, I think it leads to like really bad outcomes like domestic
yeah.
violence.
Well, if you could,
right?
if you could take the take your image off, please. I didn't notice it until now.
Oh, why?
I told you I'm not going to.
I know
So-
I'm not talking about it.
yeah,
I'm
so-
actively engaging you
all right, dude.
about the like feminist conversation. I would love to.
It's crazy how sneaky you guys are. It's crazy how sneaky and passive aggressive you guys are. We were having a good conversation, yeah. We were having a good conversation. You were. But up until that point. I'm not letting you back up.
Can
and
I
if
say
you
some host?
if you keep requesting, you're just gonna get blocked. So I'm happy to have you up on another time, but if you keep requesting up, you're getting blocked. So this is the last warning. Yes, Emily.
Like I understand where people are in the comments are coming from. It does need to be talked about, kind of. Like you can't really dismiss it.
No.
Like it
I mean,
needs.
yeah, we can talk, I guess. We can talk about it in a small way, but like here's what's going on. You have people who are probably coming in because they were made aware that illogic or white were going to be on. And so perhaps there's a lot of people who are here regarding that. So it is fair that you mention it, that I should not really disregard it. But the thing is, I agreed with the chat with a 1v1. I did not agree with 2v1 or 3v1s or 2v2s. I did not agree to that. So this is why I'm holding a boundary here, or I'm following a logical agreement. So that's why I have an issue with people wanting to rein in, whether it be Chase, who's on a logic side, or Yap, who's on white side, because I don't think it's fair, especially if they're no longer here, that they can't defend themselves and then assertions and claims get made against the other party. I don't think that's a good way to have a conversation.
No, like I understand where you come from. Like you don't want people to be ganging up on him.
Either
But
party.
At the same time, at the same time, if you don't talk about him, people are gonna say that you're siding with illness or whatever his name is. Like that's not a good look for you or your social media.
Yeah.
And
So when
I'm
it
not
comes to how we
saying
do things here in America, I'm not sure if you're from America. Are you American?
innocent until proven guilty. I know how it is in
Yeah.
America.
So this is how our court systems operate. They operate off of presumption of innocence, and I think it's fair for me to operate consistent with that notion. I don't think I'm doing anything wrong here. So did you have anything else you wanted to talk about the meta or the meta surrounding the conversation with White and the logic?
I was just like, see when they were talking, I was like, oh, host, can I show the screenshot? The screenshot I covered out the names, like I wasn't showing them, but I can clearly say it's a protective thing for the wife against him. Like I can show it clearly for the people in the comments, but
Yeah. So
I'm not trying to.
here's the thing, though. What does that have to do? What does that have to do with my prompt? If this is a platform you guys want to have, I temporarily had it. Why don't you guys have your own platform about this discussion instead of trying to force me to have a discussion about it? What does this have to do with anti-feminist dating advice? It's completely not relevant. So when people are insisting that I do one thing or the other, I'd say I'm not. That doesn't concern me. Doesn't concern me.
Okay, but your prompt, it's about women, so it is anti-feminist.
Yeah, you're right. It is.
Like
It is
as
tertiarily related.
okay, so about white man and an illness, it's still including a woman in that discussion.
Yeah.
So
So
it's still kind of interlinked with the other.
yeah, you're right. It is interlinked, but I that also doesn't speak to what I just said. The last 2-3 minutes, what I just said. Does it?
Okay, I'm sorry. No, it doesn't, but I just thought to include it. Listen, I'm gonna drop down. Have a nice day. God bless you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for coming up. Yeah, cool, man. Yeah, cool. What did it do? Yeah, cool.
My cortisol levels have like spiked tenfold.
Yeah, I stepped on a can of worms there. I'm glad I was able to give them their back and forth, but ultimately it didn't really go anywhere, as you guys saw. And then people in the chat are like, "Hey, yeah, like,
Are you able to get my text streams?
yeah, let me see here.
All right.
I'm looking at them right now.
You don't have to read them out loud.
Well, surely.
I got beef with Hannah. Who else I got beef with? I got beef with Chloe. I got beef. Who else I got beef with? It's really much
Yeah, so
Hannah.
this
Hannah.
slander, these people saying that I'm pro whatever because I'm trying to have a fair debate or whatever, you guys are getting blocked. So trust me, there's more people to come to the conversation. Any slander will be dealt with because I gotta clean up the chat for people talking smack.
I don't care, Chloe. I just want to fight somebody at this point.
So you guys are gonna
I'm
force
joking.
me. You're not gonna force me to answer anything I don't want. You're not gonna intimidate me. So anybody who's slandering someone, you don't deserve a response from me. So I don't respect people who talk disrespectfully, so I'm not going to answer your question. Nah, you silenced in dissent. Yeah, so if people are calling me names and they're saying that I'm doing a certain thing, slander is something that I take seriously. So call it whatever you want. I don't respect it. This is the thing. It's funny. It's funny how you guys are. Basically, because you guys feel a certain way about a thing. If I don't feel the same way, then therefore somehow I am what? Somehow there's moral judgment against me. When everyone saw it, heart, Violet, thanks for the heart and the confetti. I appreciate it. Everyone saw it.
Sorry.
Everyone saw me give them both their time. They agreed to it. And so it's funny how quickly you guys will turn on someone who was trying to do things righteously and to be courteous to both parties. Because I don't know what the hell is going on. But clearly, people who were clearly people who are mad at me in the chat are what? They're trying to manipulate. That's what they're trying to do. Tropical, thanks for the follow.
Well, if it's that serious, white man, why don't you guys go take it up with
Yeah, why don't you guys
authorities
make
or
your own?
something?
Why don't you guys
Like,
make
why
your
don't
own
you guys
live? Why
go
does
do
it
your
have to
own
be my
thing?
live? Like, I don't get it. Yapper, what's going on?
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yapper, you sound like yapping.
I do sound like yapping, don't I?
Yeah, you're out of here. Oh, that's stupid. Yapper, come on, dude. leave me alone, dude. What the hell is wrong with these people? Yapper.
Narcissist.
I mean, hey, look, if you guys want to bring up the engagement, look, I already got 18 followers. I'm about to break a record. I appreciate the likes too. You guys are breaking a record. I mean, if this is what this chat is going to be about today, you're not. If you guys want to be dumb warriors in the chat and pop up the engagement, be my guest. But my rules still stand. Yapper, you request back up again, you're banned. Who else? Tropical? I think I seen Tropical in the damn chat. Let's see. What was Tropical doing? Was Tropical a good? Okay. I don't know, Yapper. Like, are you don't understand? Like, you don't think I have? You don't think I'm gonna? He's calling my bluff. Yapper, I love you, but I gotta stick to my guns here. Peace. Hello, Tropical. How's it going today?
Hello, good. How are you?
Doing all right. Do you have any questions regarding the prompt, or
Yeah,
or
so
did you have anything you wanted to mention? Any question?
yeah, so just like dating advice for someone who's dating an anti-feminist. That's the prompt, yes?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I don't know. Again, and this is just opinion, and opinions aren't facts, right? So my thing is, why would a guy want to date someone who's an anti-feminist? I mean,
Tropical,
you're a guy,
thanks for the heart as well. I didn't see it.
You're welcome.
That's going to make me biased. I might go easy on you. But you're saying, why would somebody want to date an anti-feminist?
No. Why would somebody want to date somebody who's a feminist? Like I don't know. I guess in my circle of people are kind of called like bra burners. Like, why would a guy want to date somebody who is like that?
They're called what burners?
Bra burners.
Oh, the bra burners, the feminists, the radical ones. Why would they want to?
Yeah.
Well,
like,
I think
why would a guy want to date?
There's a couple of camps where these men would fall under. The first man is deceived. He perhaps bought into a lot of things. The second one is probably more self-hating. They don't see, like, they don't have the mental constitution or the confidence in themselves to combat what's going on. Because as a man, when you hear slander against you, if it's true, that's one thing. If you're lied about it, you would be in the deceived camp. But the other one is like, you want to, how can I explain? We naturally have defense mechanisms against danger or attacks.
Right.
This is something inherent, and some men don't have that, and it's likely because of their upbringing, or maybe they were henpecked by their mother to oblivion, such that they're smaller of a person as they grow up. Perhaps maybe they really identify with a victim or certain things. This will oftentimes bring your defenses down. So this doesn't mean this person's automatically self-hating, but it can lead to self-hate if you truly look at the logical entailments of most feminist arguments. For example, it's all men.
Right. So like it's obviously who we date and who we want to date, it's a preference, it's a choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, if somebody and again, just my opinion, I'm a very feminine woman. I'm kind of old school in a lot of ways. And, I love that about myself. I wouldn't change it. So, I like, cooking. I like, that, and I don't care if it's people say, oh, it's a mold. It's a, a stigma, cook clean, have baby. No, that's not what it's about. That's not what I'm talking about. But I do like to do nice things for the person I'm dating. I do like to dress pretty and girly and, have my nails done every once in a while. If not, do it myself if I don't have the money for it,
Mm-hmm.
And so that would be a feminist, not an anti-feminist, right?
A feminist is that type of person who likes to paint their nails and do something nice for their man every once in a while, or
Yeah.
would that be a feminist? I wouldn't necessarily call that a feminist because, well, if the feminist believes in this so-called choice, the marketed choice that they always retreat to,
Mm-hmm.
that person could be a feminist too. So some people could be feminists that they have a similar, they have a egalitarian ideological leaning, but as far as dating preferences, they tend to track towards traditionalism. I would say this is inconsistent and
Okay.
they're ideologically irreconcilable, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I just think that all these titles and all these new like titles and stuff like that, like to me, it's all so confusing. It's like, why can't I just be who I am? You be who you are, and we'll see if it meshes. I like to be a feminine person. I like to be, a sexy person. I like to look nice for my significant other.
If I may
Hey,
interject
real
real quick.
quick, white man, stop posting people's stuff in the chat. So
If I may interject.
if you be
think-
so kind, white man, stop doing that. And then real quick, Lex, my apologies. Thanks for coming up.
You're good. You're good.
How's it going today?
Going all right?
I forgot. Tropical, I didn't get your age. And Lex, could you tell me your age after?
For sure. I'm 23.
23 and Tropical?
37.
All right, thank you. Okay, so
I just wanted to say
yeah, go
one
ahead,
thing.
Aaron.
So, tropic, is it toxic or tropic? I think it's toxic.
It's both toxic tropical.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, okay. So what you're just pretty much saying is like you're kind of redefining feminism as like a feminine woman is like what we call like positive feminine traits of a woman. Is that what you're saying? Like being pretty,
Yeah.
being in her feminine divine,
Yeah,
pretty
like I
much.
don't.
Or okay,
Yeah,
okay,
like I don't think that I should have to explain to my friends why do you do that? Why do you, go, to one of the better grocery stores around here and get nice, ribeyes and stuff. Well, because I want to. Because
right.
if somebody treats you well, I think you should treat them well, and back.
So you agree? So would you and I agree that would the today's term of feminism would be toxic feminism or
I
toxic femininity?
I guess it's like very hard to like define. I just feel like it just comes naturally to me. I don't really think I need to define it. It's just like
Okay,
it's something I want to do. If my partner is good to me, I want to be good to them back. I want to give them back massages. If they, do something nice, bring me home flowers for no reason at all.
in other words, you're just doing your role as a woman in
Yeah.
her natural nature. I
I
got you.
I guess, and yes, I do like to cook, and yes, I do like when somebody says, thank you and holds the door open for me, and because I think that I do my part to ensure the other person's happiness, and I think that's what love is.
Got you. Understood.
Hey, Ching, I see you in the chat. Ching, if you have any questions on the YouTube side, let me know. It's just been a bit difficult for me to manage the super rumor storm that just started or just ended here.
It seems like host. It seems like those two know each other or something, and like somebody has some sort
Yeah,
of
they're
case
they're
against somebody.
beefing. There's something like that. But Eclipse on the
Yeah,
YouTube
no,
side.
This guy apparently
Well, real
beat
quick,
his, like,
guys.
wife and
Hold on,
stuff.
Lex. Producer, hey, are you still a Christian? I've been following you since Opti features a video using some of your clips. Yeah, so I'm still a Christian, producer. That is indeed the case. I don't want to see notifications though. Yeah, I'm not sure about the notification on the YouTube side. Producer, perhaps I'm not favored by the moderators on the YouTube side. Who knows? PUA stuff, pickup art stuff? I don't think so. Probably not, because anyone doesn't want to date. Well, Ching, you'd be surprised. There's a lot of men who are either deceived or, yeah, we'll just say that. Try not to be insulting.
And a lot of women that are, beat, and children that are molested, unfortunately, at the hand of, illogical who you decided to panel and continue to decide to
that's
panel,
your
even though he
Lex.
has an open court
Lex,
case
that's your
against him
last
at
warning.
289A.
This is your final warning. So you keep bringing up stuff like that, you're off.
I say let's just boot him.
I'll give him one. I'll give him a warning. Will wants to be led by a stronger man. Yeah, Ching, I agree with you. So I don't know if it was you, Lex, or Tropical who was talking before I interrupted.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's tropical, but I
Yeah,
mean,
no,
I just think it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that it's just gotten way out of hand, and I think, you know, like these women kind of are like almost like manly. They come across as manly. So if a man is attracted to that, then I don't know. It's just I don't see how they would want to be. I don't know. I can't see it. Like I wouldn't be attracted to a male who was extremely feminist.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be attracted to a male that, beats his wife and children and
Oops, my bad. Oops, my bad. Tropical, can you Tropical? You can come back up. My apologies. I blocked or got the wrong person out. Tropical. I meant to get out Lex. These passive aggressive beta males is crazy, bro.
Yeah, I hear where Tropic is coming from. To elaborate on what she was saying. Oh, well, she's
Fuck
back.
out of here.
Yeah, I was curious. I'm like, what did I do?
Yeah, I was my bad. The sledgehammer came down. You were collateral damage for a second. My apologies.
I usually am. It's okay.
And I just want to address White in the chat. This is the dishonor of these feminists. This is a dishonor I'm talking about right here, live on display. So I gave this guy the courtesy of bogarting my entire life for you guys to squash whatever beef you had. Turns out I didn't know what was going on, but because I'm suspending judgment, somehow I'm defending one person or the another. That's completely hilarious. But this is how you feminists act. You guys act like women. You're passive aggressive and you try and assassinate character. That's what you guys are good at. This is a toxic part of your ideology. So slander, it's because you don't agree with how I want to do things. Now you're going to slander me to try and intimidate me. You don't see any problem with that at all? Just because I want to remain neutral and suspend judgment because there's a lot of claims going back and forth. You think it's reasonable that I just take what you say wholesale, especially once you're insulting me and slandering me?
They're irrational people, so they're not going to even.
Yeah, they behave off emotion, so they're trying to use emotion to manipulate me.
Right.
Yeah, and I mean, like even in the chat, he's saying the fact that you won't look at the evidence. He doesn't want to look at the evidence. You know, you keep posting this court case number. No one's looking at it.
Yeah, here's what you're doing, white man. Here's what you're doing. What you're doing is, I'm not letting you back up either. You guys had the two dogs have had their days. I'm not letting you back up. I'm not here to discuss back and forth bullshit of you guys' case. Like, hey, why don't you care about this cause? I just don't particularly care. Oh, you don't care? Well, you hate this and you. It's like, could it not just be that like I have a different choice? I thought feminists were all about choices. EWF, my bad. Enid. Enid. Is that how you pronounce your name?
E-nut, E-newt. Everybody has their own way of saying it. Does not bother me. How
Okay.
are you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How's it going today?
Good. It's not very often I'm scrolling TikTok and I see your title. I have no idea how to take it. I guess I'll start with, so when I look at it, I see anti-feminist, meaning against today's hate, is my best guess. Dating advice. And I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about this subject, and I love conversations and I love, topics that are different, that make people think, you know. Um, when I see that, do I hate women as some people would take it? No, obviously not. Um, am I all for one side or the other? Obviously not. Um, Dating advice, I haven't dated in 9 years, so I'm gonna shut up for a minute and let you explain to me because I might learn something here, and I love to learn. So
Okay, let's see. All right, so Lexi, what's going on? I'll give you more information. Lexi, how's it going?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. What is your age, ma'am?
32.
All right, thank you. So we were talking about ultimately where the conversation still hasn't, I'd say hasn't really resolved, is on toxic masculinity. So, I'll just mention toxic masculinity. The conversations that I was having before were inconclusive, so we can just continue that thread. The toxic masculinity is criticism levied at men at large, wholesale, the whole male race, male gender. And this is a way to shame men for their inherent traits that they have. I would argue they're inherent. The feminists will say, oh, they're just socially constructed, blah, blah, blah. So when feminists say these things about how men have preferences for body count, age, sentimentality regarding person who's masculine or feminine, being the women, these type of preferences, if men have these preferences, there's inherently toxic. It comes from patriarchal, oppressive internalization, insert buzzword. That's how a lot of feminists will critique men just wanting to date, settle down, find a mate. So when you hear this type of stuff from your potential suitor, if you are a man and you actually care about yourself, you should be disqualifying women who think like this. But here's the thing. I would advise men to do this, but that doesn't mean that it's ultimately, I'm trying to do the best I can to be in the man and the woman's best interest, but also these are women, if my advice goes through, they're not going to be able to, that's one less man they can date. So this is a way of like lowering the amount of kids we can have, lowering the amount of replacement we can have. If we're trying to make sure our birth rate is at least 2.1, it's at like 1.7 right now. But that's really the only option here, because if the women don't stop thinking like this and ridiculing men incessantly, that's ultimately going to be the only result. I mean, it's not going to be the only result. I don't know the future, but I don't see how a feminist constantly ridiculing a man is going to make them, oh, okay, all of a sudden, all this ridicule, all of a sudden, I want to have kids with such a woman. I would say that man's a fool. White man, I'm not letting you come back up, dude. You're from you telling me that I'm defending PDFs after I've given you the platform to speak. I've given you guys at least 15, 20 minutes to do that, and you're going to insult and disrespect me like that. You're not coming back up. So, anyways, does anybody have anything to say about
You
that?
should block him.
Yeah, I got something to say about toxic masculinity.
My apologies.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I would agree that like toxic masculinity, I would agree that like some of those traits would also include like, beating their wife in front of their kids and then going up and like letting.
Gotcha. Hey, look, guys.
So if I may,
real quick, I do want to let you guys know that you can go ahead and continue to snipe, but you're only helping my engagement. So that's what this is going to come to. You realize you're actually helping my metrics, right? That's the most funniest part about this. But go ahead, Enoch.
so I just went ahead and followed you because the way you think. Here's my thing. You don't always have to agree with everything everybody has to say. My thing is the only way humanity, period, us as humans, are going to move past everything is being able to think and have conversations. And the way you explain that, so I agree with you on over 90% of that. When I think of feminism, and again, I don't know if I said my age. I'm 49, about to be 50.
Okay.
Oh, good God.
What's so bad
Yes,
about that,
I'm
Tropic?
old.
Sorry. I couldn't help
Uh,
myself.
yes, Gen X. My apologies.
No, I'm talking about Lexi in the comments again. Oh God.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Help me, Jesus, take the wheel.
Yeah, I mean, were there?
you know, I say that a lot. Like, Father, give me the patience I need.
Well,
Mm.
So
here's the thing I would say. In it, I I gave basically two party members, two members, the courtesy to air their grievances out on my stage. It was completely side. It was a complete side. What do you call it? It derailed the entire prompt. But I figured if people got the likes up, I would honor it. And now people are still residually in the chat, basically slandering. And these are all feminists, by the way. The feminists, this is how they act. They like to assign hatred. They like to assign ill intent and malice to seemingly reasonable responses of, like, let's just say I hear information and I want to suspend judgment. Because I want to suspend judgment, therefore there's something wrong with me. I am a sympathizer, or I'm a insert phobia, or insert you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, all of a sudden you're you're with that, you're with that ideology, and that's how they perceive it, which is not true. You're just, like you said, you're suspending it. You're putting it in, I could be not, and they don't get that.
if I may, so the more you speak, the more I actually like you. And again, yes, I was reading those comments before. In this tonight, in the last 20 minutes, I don't know who you are. I've never looked you up. And again, I'm not the type of person. You know how many times my brother said, "Hey man, you seen that movie that so and so actress was in?" I have no clue who he's talking about because I don't care about a person's life outside of, you know, when I have a conversation with somebody, I have a conversation with that person, the
Mm-hmm.
character. Character is what matters. And Father tells us this all the time. And yes, when I say Father, I believe in Father. Some people are, what, you Christian? No, I don't use labels. I have a conversation with me and my father. That's between me and my father. I was raised by my mother. I didn't know who my donor was until I was 19 years old. And to this day, I have no care for him. Could care less.
And so when you say Father, do you mean Father in heaven?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I mean, my father, the one who created me, the one who loves me, the one who guides me through all the HE double hockey stick that I've been through in my life.
And
And I
Toxic,
have fought.
sorry to cut you off,
Uh,
my bad. Toxic, thanks for the, looks like a live stamp. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
Go ahead, Ina, my bad.
my whole point is I've been through quite a bit in my life, and you know, one of the things that I've always had this yin yang thing with was my first marriage. When I went into that marriage, do I regret it? I used to when I was younger because I didn't understand. But as I get older, the more I appreciate it because I didn't have that male figure there in my life. I had no clue what being a father or a man really meant. I had zero clue. You know, so when I see subjects like this, like feminists, like my mother raised me, I don't believe that makes me less than a man. So sometimes when I see those kind of subjects, I'm like, okay, so is it downgrading who I am? I didn't choose my parents or how I was taught, or I didn't choose any of that. And this is something I try to wake people up on. You know, you are who you choose to be based on what the path that Father has given you. And by, you know, what's the words I'm looking for? You know, we were given free will. What does free will mean? Free will is more than just one angle. You know, I have a true choice to learn. I can choose to learn. I can choose to move forward. Um, no, I was skeptical about, you know, when scrolling, seeing your headline, the more I've listened to you, I would love to hear you speak more. I love individuals who try to teach outside of the hate that we have going on in this country and in this world, and to move past so we can all grow together because none of us chose any of this. I didn't choose, you know, my body. I didn't choose my parents. I didn't choose my country. I didn't choose any of that when I was born. But what I can choose is where I'm at now and what I do with what was given to me. I can choose to use it as hatred or to hurt another, or I could choose to make it a better place.
Yeah, I would
Hopefully
agree
that
with
makes
you.
sense.
Basically, you're saying that you're acknowledging that your situation that you got in, you could see perhaps it wasn't ideal, but you're playing with the cards you're dealt, and you're trying to move forward in the most honest and righteous way. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that's likely the best thing you can do. And so I want to read some things in the chat that I noticed. This person's Cascadian says masculinity is just performative behaviors to be accepted by a perceived group. I want to look up performative real quick. Performative. So performative is an action or utterance that is done merely to show intended. Oh, it's just done merely for show, intended to impress others or bolster an image rather than reflect authentic intent. Well, you're basically saying people who behave masculine are not authentic. I think that's a pretty strong claim to make. You've asserted that, but there isn't any premise to back up your claim. So perhaps you can give me more evidence of that, because at the moment that doesn't really sound correct. D, thanks for the heart. I appreciate that. Way I would counter with that when it comes to performative, you're saying it's inauthentic. When we look at authenticity and its intent, if I look up the term authentic, genuine, real, or true to its origin, masculinity is what originates from the male sex, the male human sex, because of his dimorphic incentives that he has. One example would be, I'll start with the woman. The woman bears more risk when it comes to sex, because if things go awry and that relationship, that sexual relationship is unsuccessful, she has to deal with a permanent life. This isn't to say the life is bad, but this is definitely something she'll have to deal with on her own. This would
Accurate.
biologically, go ahead, Toxic.
Facts.
Yeah, so this would biologically inform her differently, because as humans, or as what we can observe human behavior on a biological level is incentives or selfishness. This isn't to say that you're going to disregard other people, but you operate from the sense of self first. I want to eat, I want to breathe, I want to stay alive, I want to be healthy, or I want to not have pain, I want to have relationships that are not painful, I want to secure a life for myself, my family, my children. These are all incentive structures that are biological. No one needs to teach you this. So when we talk about a woman's incentive when it comes to securing resources for her son or daughter, this is an incentive that is biologically written because it is consistent with her self-interest. But when we talk about male self-interest, it could be something like paternity. Securing paternity, before DNA testing, we have had men only having a certain way of knowing if a kid is not his. I mean, this is something I learned in my anthropology class back in the day, from a liberal, by the way. My cultural anthropology class explained to me ensuring paternity, which is a male informed biological incentive. So when you talk about things being inauthentic or performative, that would be my case against what you're saying. You should read the book, Who's Afraid of Gender? There are only human behaviors. Because a person is born male doesn't mean they have to act masculine. So have to act masculine is a strong thing. I would just say they're generally more likely to act masculine because they have biological and they have a different biological incentive structure than a woman because of those things I mentioned. Now, this doesn't mean that like we need to have laws that enforce masculinity or femininity, but it does mean that we should have systems that encourage and support what I would argue is a natural incentive structure, like pair bonding, having kids. Because currently we have a system that feminists has cause of a low birth rate. Let's see, W. James for not giving up.
James,
Yes, sir.
man, I don't mean to be rude. I just may I respond to that one?
Yeah, no problem.
So here's the thing, the issue I've had with the word masculinity. I've been attacked with this word since I was a child.
Okay.
And being told that I have to be this certain person. And the one thing that I've learned through the years is I think some people get this confused with anger and non-patience. And, for example, I'm walking down the street and somebody pushes me and I just, throw a right hand.
Mm-hmm.
If that's towards a male, then other people, they shrug it off. If it's towards a female, and again, yes, it is wrong. I do not believe it is right. My mother taught me better than that. But I'm just saying, I think people tend to take some of these words and actions and misconstrue them. Especially in the last 10 years. I've seen a lot of videos of men being patient, being attacked by, those of the opposite gender. And they do nothing because they think that's the right thing while they are harmed. My mother always taught me that it doesn't matter what your body looks like. If you attack somebody in an intention to do harm, then that person has the right to defend themselves. And if you know that you can defend that person, then it is your responsibility to defend that person. Now, again, I'm still learning. I didn't have a lot of guidance. I had to figure it out on my own.
Hmm.
So when I look at that word, I can't even say it. My stutter. My apologies.
Misogyny, masculinity, which one?
Uh,
Misogyny or masculinity?
Misogynist. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
apologize.
yeah, when
I'm
you hear about
trying.
misogyny, what was your point to that?
So I don't look at that as just a man being, oh, I'm a man, I'm gonna control it. I look at it as the difference between unleashing anger and controlling that anger to channel to help a situation other than, oh, you called me a bad name, so I'm gonna hit you because I don't like what you called me.
Yeah, and I would agree when it comes to misogyny, operating in a nature where a person is reactive. You and we could agree that society would say that this is generally not a good thing to do. Reacting in such a way where a person doesn't deserve it, we would say this is wrong, right? You and I can agree that society would say people who are innocent, you shouldn't go for them. You shouldn't try and hurt them if they don't deserve it. And then when you talk about hurting women, that's another thing we acknowledge as a species, at least here in the West, that you shouldn't. What we generally look down on hitting women, especially in a vacuum, because we acknowledge women to be the weaker sex, and that's based on the principle of you shouldn't hurt the weak. Oftentimes, there's that's where it comes from. That's the root of why that is. And then I hear you talk about masculinity and being angry. Is that what masculinity means to you?
Yes and no. And
So what
again,
in the yes way, how does it speak to that in the yes way? And Yakub,
I believe that's what.
thank you so much, and thanks for or love you so much. Thanks for the heart me again, Yakub. Go ahead, and Enut.
No, you're good. I feel like that's what the society has told me. And the older I get and the more I learn and the more I understand, I start to disagree with that.
Well,
You
you
know,
mentioned what you ended with, which is that channeling your anger is likely more masculine.
Right. Well, my mother used to tell me that a king will always protect those who cannot protect themselves. That is your responsibility, regardless of what an individual looks like. My mother, she pounded that in my throat pretty hard. Does not matter what an individual looks like. If you can do something about it, it is your responsibility, no matter what happens to you. That's what I was taught. You know, and I'm growing up in this society that they're telling me different. And I get it. Mothers, fathers, they will tell their children's, things that they believed. But I know in my heart that my mother was a good person. I know she was about the good of everybody. So I have a hard time believing that I'm an evil person
If
based off,
you're an evil person,
based on what I look like or what I was given. That does not change who I am. So, I hear these arguments between the genders and, your melatonin of what your skin looks like, your religion beliefs and your political beliefs and all this other nonsense. And all I see, and this is my perception, I see nothing but hate trying to destroy what was meant to be a purpose. One of the things that, my mother's been gone for what, 18 years now? And I'll never forget, you know, a flower cannot breed another flower if that seed was never planted. And I think about things like that. And no matter how much I get angry, sometimes I get to the point where I just want to start hurting people and I have to remind myself. And hence why I believe in Father, because I believe He's the one talking to me when I get angry and calms me down to think for myself and not what other people think. And yeah, 20 years ago, oh, this dude belongs in a mental institution. And maybe I do. Maybe I'm crazy.
well, you don't sound crazy to me at the moment. I think what you're just saying is that your upbringing has allowed you to have a proper defense against a lot of people trying to make you question how you believe you feel inherently, or your principles, your morals.
It was all.
And Discover, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Cascadian, perhaps you want to come up and have a discussion about this toxic masculinity, because I don't think you've made a good case in the comments there. Let's see.
I apologize. My cousin is blowing up my phone. I really need to call and see if he's okay.
No
But my
problem.
whole
Well, if you wanna close up, you're welcome back up if you wanted to close with something.
yeah, I just want to tell everybody, do not judge every book by its cover. Do not just, oh,
Aha.
that looks evil, so I'm going to judge. Take the time, read, learn, listen. You never know what you might find.
Why do you think I made my name Toxic Tropical?
I'm
There's
not
a
sure. Does it speak to
reason.
that? Does it speak to what
Yeah,
Innit was saying?
yeah, yes, 100%.
Mm.
I wanted to see how many people would judge me. It could have been Tiny Tropical, Q Tropical, Heart Tropical, could have been anything. But Toxic Tropical, it is my favorite lipstick brand of MAC. But I wanted to, it's as simple as that, really.
Well, real
I
quick.
honestly wanted to see how many people would judge me and say, well, you're toxic anyway.
Well, Toxic, me and Toxic kind of jumped in there, but we didn't mean to. You wanted to close? Did you end your closing? We didn't mean to derail
No,
you.
you're good.
No, but you're on it. You got it.
Yeah, I have this thing when somebody else will speak. It doesn't matter what you look like, male, female, lighter skin, darker skin. It doesn't matter to me. When someone speaks, you take a moment, you shut your mouth, you hear what they have to say. It's respect that goes both ways. That's just how I am. I appreciate your guys' time. Um, if I'm up in a little bit, I would gladly look for you because these are the conversations that I love the most. I'll
Oh,
sit there, I'll listen to these conversations for hours. I won't say a word because we're never going to heal. We're never going to move forward if everything everybody says is, what about the past? What about this? What about that? Yeah, what about it? What about it? If you stay there, you will never leave there. The path forward is not going backwards. And yes, some things happen that, I wish we all could go back in time and erase. But unfortunately, that power is not mine. It does not belong to any of us. And we have a choice. We can move forward and find solutions, or we can keep doing what we're doing. But I apologize. I will cut it short. Thank you guys for your time.
All right,
amen.
thanks. You're welcome back up. But thanks for coming on. Thanks for your input.
Aw, I like him.
All right, so Madam Naisha.
Yes, we've talked before. Happy Pride, everybody. How's everyone doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing today?
Good, good, good. What was the topic? I just joined.
What's your age, madam?
I'm 19.
All right. We talked. What was our last? Could you remind me of the last conversation we were having?
Oh my goodness. I think we talked about the feminist movement. And I think, oh my gosh, I feel like it was a while ago. I
Okay.
think we agreed on some things. I don't know. I don't know if I would really call you an anti-feminist though.
Oh man, really? That sucks.
I don't think so. I think
Why
I
don't
don't
you think
know.
I'm why do you think I'm not an anti-feminist? What about our last conversation gave you that impression?
You just seemed very egalitarian to me. Like you seemed very much like you didn't have an issue like if women necessarily wanted to work. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's not
And
egalitarian because like women, like I'll take the black community for example. Before civil rights, before the black community even integrating into the welfare system, before we even had anything, the women were working, the men was working, but the roles were still understood and respected. So I don't see anything wrong with women working. I don't, because that sounds historically consistent. Like women were farming or harvesting or perhaps having a business revolving around linen. Like this seems to me completely historically constant. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
are you like for I'm gonna say women in education, and I'm gonna just stem like for instance women in higher jobs like a CEO or someone who's a doctor or a surgeon.
Of course, but here's the thing: it just needs to be meritable. It needs to
Right,
be
you
based
just
on
focus
merit.
on the gender role aspect, like in a relationship.
Yeah, and societally, I would base it on
Noted.
merit. I wouldn't try and do a compulsory diversity, equity, or inclusion initiative. I wouldn't do certain things where people are forced to even out a demographic. I don't believe in equity. That would be equity. I believe in meritocracy.
Okay. I want to hear some of this dating advice. Like, I'm really interested on what the, I'm going to say advice is, if that makes sense. I mean, I'm married, but I'm just interested, however.
Do
I
you know any
guess what,
friends? Do you know any friends who you think who you can think of? Like, if you could map out a friend who you know is looking for something, male or female.
I feel like my friends are a little crazy. I'm not sure if they're, looking to settle down
So
right now.
they're not ready for marriage just yet.
I don't think so.
Okay, well then I will, but here's the thing. I have to, not just for the sake of the prompt, this is my convictions. I have to draw oftentimes their timelines and their perspective. I would draw that towards, oh, well, Naisha left, but I'll just continue. Maybe she left, maybe she DC'd. But when she mentioned her friends are kind of crazy and they're not ready for marriage, I would say that's a problem. I'm the type of person who would ridicule my friends if they're just slinging meat and playing whack-a-mole with their wiener. I would ridicule women who were doing the same in the converse as they don't have wieners. But it's like they're just both parties are just pissing in the pool
You
at the end of the
criticized me
day.
last night.
Yeah, both parties are just pissing in the pool, and you are adding a body, um, and it's likely going to lead to some type of trauma or just another bad pattern, and you're putting them back in the pool for someone else to deal with. So either they're going to need to recover from that and wait until they're ready, which means they're missing men or women who they could have gotten with and could have had children with, good families with, or they're going to go back too soon and they're going to take out some of their frustrations that are built up on the next person. I think it's unhealthy, but sexual liberation is something that sexual liberation is what would cause this type of behavior. Because remember, if a woman wants to be a virgin, she's a prude. If a woman wants to wait till she's married, she's somehow brainwashed or she's internalizing some misogyny. This is how feminists literally ridicule mating preferences on not just men, but women as well. So if a woman is like, oh, I want to fit in, so I'm just going to do what all the girlies are doing, and they were taught by their feminist professors to go ahead and find yourself through a sea of bodies. This is somehow a philosophical virtue somehow in the feminist head. If the woman sees her friends doing this, she's like, oh well, yeah, I mean, I know it is. I'm kind of like a prude, and I don't really want to be looked down at and being a virgin from my friends. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give it up. Give it up to some dude who doesn't care about you and break your heart. It's like, how is this finding yourself? Because if you look at it 50 years ago, a woman's virginity or her sexual access was highly valued and highly esteemed. And now she trades it for what, a dinner date and someone making her laugh like 3 times in a week and 3 consecutive dates, and all of a sudden she's sleeping with him. It's completely sterile, meaningless, despair. It's like this is despairing. Or I don't know if that's a word or not. So you want to control what people can do, because scary stories you have in your mind. So scary stories implies that this is not a completely logical sequence of events. If someone sleeps with someone, they have different expectations in the relationship. One person's going to be hurt, one person's hurt. That means they need to heal themselves. This is completely intuitive and logical. Is it unreasonable? No, this is called mitigation of risk. This is called strategy. This is called me consulting people. So imagine you, Cascadian, you're a financial advisor. And the person you're advising says, shouldn't I behave in such a way where I want to mitigate risk? And you're like, oh no, don't get insurance. Don't get a bond. You don't want to be scared. Don't be a pussy. Don't give in to your insecurities. How about, why don't you just acknowledge that people have different strategies, and oftentimes it revolves around mitigating risk, and they're not going to do what the feminist is constantly trying to foist on them, which is take the riskier path. Because the riskier path involves unwanted pregnancies, heartbreak, STDs, losing trust in your community, lowering your reputation. But the feminist says these are all worth it so long as the women can actualize. Because the reality is this, the darker thing. Feminist philosophers teach on the biological family being a obstacle to this egalitarian society or this utopia that they're trying to reach. They view, in reality, this is the real intent. The reason why they're okay with ridiculing the woman who wants to have a kid and the woman who wants to keep her body count low is because they realize that a woman who behaves akin to tradition, or what we would call quote unquote normal, which is not sleeping around, this is a literal obstacle in the way of them getting rid of the patriarchy that they hate so much. So the interesting thing about this Cascadian is you guys use the boogeyman of the patriarchy to fearmonger women into doing what you want. And I find it completely ironic that you talk about scare tactics, because that's basically the only tool you guys have in your shed, is to always preach some type of internalized or subconscious self-hatred or misogyny that these women have that are just trying to act normal. You assume they are sleeping around. I'm giving you a hypothetical, Cascadian. You gotta track what I'm saying, man. No, the patriarchy is the control of women. The issue about the patriarchy is, what you don't understand, Cascadian, is it's inevitable. The patriarchy is inescapable. Look around you from all history. The only people who can enforce rights are men. That you cannot escape that. You can point to any matriarchy, and even in those matriarchies, on a balance of probabilities, I will point to you a male, almost exclusive male force of military or policing that literally props up whatever matriarchy you want to bring about. Because without men as the enforcement arm, there will just be another male group that will prey on them. So you guys can't escape this patriarchy. Let's see. Everyone who's here, thanks for likes. Thank you. We're almost at 10K. Appreciate that. Then do that. Point to a matriarchy with this example. Yeah, man. The last one I can point to was there was a society somewhere in the islands, the South American islands, where there was a group of men who basically had a society of women that was built on a lot of the neighboring tribes and the other tribes that they warred with, the slaves and the captives. So they killed all the men, and they just let women hold offices. But the thing is, it was insulated by the Navy, which was the men. And I'm explaining to you that without it, there's just going to be another male group to prey on them. This is just a reality of all of human history. So when you talk about patriarchy is just a concentration of male rule, and the power going from that male group downwards. This is inevitable. You cannot escape that. I just gave you an example. Oh yeah, no problem, Miss Toxic. Yeah, so here's the aftermath. Let's look at the aftermath. Let's count the money, as so to say, Aaron. So the people who came in here to try and derail the conversation ended up making me get more followers than I normally do. And more viewers. So let it be a lesson to you guys. If people are trying to intimidate you, just stand your ground, behave righteously, and perhaps God will reward you. Hello, ma'am. Ari, I believe.
Yes. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How's it going today?
It's fantastic. My day's great. Hope
Awesome.
yours as well.
What is your age, ma'am?
I'm 22. I turned 23 this summer.
Nice. So, what brings you up today?
I just kind of want to understand your prompt a little bit. Are you kind of looking for anti-feminist advice, or
I am giving out the advice.
you're giving
Yes,
out
I
the
am giving.
advice?
Do you need any
Oh,
advice?
okay.
Or would you humor any?
What I'll humor you actually. What is something that I can do, right, to weed out like weed out when someone's not trying to be serious as a
Okay,
man?
that's a good question. Brian, I see you up. But for the sake of the advice, I'm gonna keep you in the back for a sec. I want to advise Ari here. So the best way to see if a man's intentions are not just for physical intimacy is to make him wait until marriage. Are you a Christian?
I am.
Are you, well, are you a virgin?
Correct.
Oh, well then you even have more of a vested interest to do that. What is your time frame for marriage? How soon do you want to get married?
That's my whole thing. That's what's blowing me because it's like, yes, make you wait, but it's like it's also a thing like I want to have married. I want to get married. I want to have my kids young so like I can kind of like grow old with them. That's what I saw in my household with my parents. So it's like I'm trying to get like if I had it my way, I'd be married by next year. Like genuinely.
So you have a quick
Um
time frame.
it's
Okay.
not a quick time frame, just I feel like once I pass a certain age, I'm not gonna be looking towards marriage anymore. I'll be so like career
Oh, okay. You're trying
oriented
to
that I'm
avoid that.
not. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that because I want to be a mom.
Do you have any suitors at the moment?
I have a lot, but it's all like
Are they the
I
men that you want to marry?
no.
All right. Well, then let's look at
No.
some of your standards. What are some of your standards that you have for what
First
is
of
your
all,
when you look into the future and you see your husband, what does he look like?
he's a God-fearing man.
Okay.
I'm personally tall, so it's like anybody under 5'10", it's a wrap.
Okay. Okay.
Anybody under 5'10" is a wrap. Somebody that has stable income, like
So when we say stable, what do we
like
mean? He can keep himself stable?
keep our family stable.
And
Like you
what
have,
state do you live in?
I live in Virginia,
Okay, so are we talking close to DC or further from it?
close to DC. Like I'm an hour out from DC. I live in Northern Virginia, Fairfax, Alexandria, that type of area.
Okay. Look up cost of
Yeah,
living in Fairfax.
it's expensive. It's expensive.
Okay. Are there any places in Virginia that are less expensive? Would you be able to relocate for your husband?
I'm willing to relocate as long as he can make sure like his income can at least cover bills. Like I'm not a woman to go 50-50 with a man. I don't believe in that.
Fair enough.
Um but it's also like I don't mind helping. I'm supposed to be a helper, right? So I don't mind helping where I'm supposed to be. But I feel like my husband should be able to take care of the bills in the home, like the necessary bills, cars, house, you know, just the basics, internet, water, things like that. And then I can take care of groceries, extra health insurance, like all of that
So
type of stuff. Yeah.
you just care at the least about him taking the lion's share of the finances. Is that what you're saying? You're saying you're gonna pay. You wouldn't mind paying for utilities. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't mind, but I'm also like the type where if we're married, like I feel like if you're my husband, you're allowed to have my paycheck and make sure that everything is sorted. Because I'm not a math guru. I don't want to be a math guru. I don't want to do the math. I feel like my husband should be doing that. And I feel like if we're both working, I don't mind contributing to what needs to be done, not only for the house, but for us as well. But it's a type of thing like give me my allowance. You can take my whole check, give me my spending allowance or whatever, and then like deal with the rest. Tell me what I need to spend it
See,
on.
Aaron, I told you there's black women out here who are not like. Well, this is a complete meta conversation, but Aaron's my moderator, best friend. But it's good to hear black women who are, take more of a biblical approach, and
Yeah.
so I think your head is in the correct place. You're talking about a man that can at the very least sustain you and him. And we're
Yeah.
looking at, I'm trying to look at the cost of living, like your average cost of rent in Virginia. Because if you'd be open to moving somewhere around Virginia or inside of Virginia, the state of Virginia,
Hmm.
let's see, cost of rent.
Honestly, I'm relocating to
Another state?
Houston soon.
Oh,
Yeah,
shoot. Well then,
Houston. I don't know.
when
I'm
it comes
very
to
nervous.
Houston or Texas proper, like I'm telling you,
Yeah.
like I don't make that much money, and I'm able to sustain me and my wife. So
Very well. Yeah.
I retired my wife. She doesn't work. So
That's what I'm
it's
saying. I
definitely
don't want to
doable.
work either. I
Um,
think it's doable if it's in a place where cost of living is okay.
yeah, well, if you're going to Houston, you're likely going to have you're going to be successful if you're trying to find a man who can sustain you, at least two of you guys. And then obviously once it's time for you to grow and have a
Mhm.
family, then you can just pick up another shift or pick up a hobby, or you
A
guys can
hobby, yeah.
save.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm just trying to gauge your standards right now as far as your ideal man. We're just talking about your baseline, which is good. Is your
Mm-hmm.
baseline, is that your baseline, or is there anything else
That's
you
my
want to add?
honestly, that's really my baseline. If you can do that, I feel like everything else can either work itself out or we can work on it.
Okay, okay. So let's just say you found a God-fearing man, but he was more stable than you would have guessed, or more stable than your baseline preference, but he was 5'8".
Um,
He's still
honestly, I'd be a
you
liar if I
still think he's
say,
handsome.
yeah, I'd be a liar if I say I wouldn't take it. I don't let height discriminate. That is just my preference, let's say in men.
Okay.
Because I've dated taller and shorter guys, and I'm not a hater on the short men, but they tend to bring hell. I don't know if it's like closer to gravity or whatever, but it's not.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, ultimately, I think you're even if you weren't malleable, let's just say you were hard set on the 5'10" thing, you could still find a dude who makes enough money, who's 5'10", who's decent looking, who can support you, who's God fearing. There's going to be a
Of
lot of
course.
Christian churches out here. Are you Baptist, Pentecostal?
I'm Pentecostal, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, there's plenty of Pentecostal churches around the Houston area for sure. And what about
Okay.
preference of ethnicity?
I don't have a preference in ethnicity as long as you can respect me. I think my respecting me and consideration and emotional like stability and comprehension is like my three things that I look for. Looks isn't a first thing I look for because I feel like you can look a certain. I've met handsome men and beautiful women that are terrible people on the inside. You feel what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
looks, it's a preference, but if you don't have not everything, but you have those three, you're emotionally intelligent, you're considerate, you're respectful of me, I think the rest is just I think it just goes.
Okay, so now that you have more an understanding on your ideal or your baseline man, what are you doing to sow into that future? What are you personally or practically doing to do that?
First of all, practicing abstinence. I ain't ready for no damn kid. I don't want no kids, and I want my sexual life to be sacred. I don't believe in casual sex. I don't think it should be a thing,
Hmm.
to be quite frank. I think that it should be a precious, intimate experience between two people. But I I practice abstinence. I date, I talk to men, but it's always really hard just to find someone, like I said, that is just those three things in one, to be honest. It's always something. Or even men like that condone that shit. Like you might not participate in it yourself, but it's the type of thing like I'd never bring my friends around you because if you saw that happen, you wouldn't stop it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Some
Yeah,
people might not do it themselves, but they don't condone it, so they're tacitly supporting it in a way.
exactly.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
well then on a side note, just to out of curiosity, what do you think about sexual liberation? Like the whole feminist thing about how women should s- uh, disregard gendered expectations of them to go and sexually explore. What do you think about that?
I think that's wrong, specifically as a woman, because I have friends that go out and do that type of thing, but I've seen the repercussions of it in real time. Women that can't get over shit, man, because you decided to sleep with him, or like him being not the person who you thought he was. I actually had a homegirl that did that for about almost a year, and that man ended her up in jail
Damn.
and with the soul tie and all these other things. So
Mm.
it's like I see the repercussions in real life. So it's like I don't think that's I don't think it's the best thing. I think everyone should have a choice, yes, but it's also like don't go haywire. Like if you're choosing to have like consent is consent, right? If you're choosing to have sex, cool, right? But make sure that you can deal with the repercussions that come with it after. Not only with that man, but your mental and your physical on top of that.
Do you, so if I'm understanding correctly, consent is at least something you can agree with the opposite side on, or anybody who wants to do it. But then on top of that, you're saying women that you've been around tend to have issues dealing with men because they're already become sexually involved with them, or even basically let me rephrase that. The sex basically makes it difficult for them to even have good judgment.
Yes, yes.
So they're going to be dealing with a certain type of man now because they get this type of sex from this man, and then they have to ride that train wherever it ends.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. Can you repeat that
Yeah,
one more time?
so
My bad.
because they're now attached to the sexual act, now they have
Mhm.
to go along with it and everything that comes with it.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah,
And
and I
once
wouldn't
you
say
see
that's.
past that, it's shitty.
I think that is something that is equal likely amongst both sexes, men and women. We'll chase tail
Correct.
or a certain type of tail, even if it destroys us.
Correct.
So I can understand where you're coming from. So then
Yeah.
you're back to the topic of you wanting to, you saying you so into this future man is your abstinence, and what else?
Um, Praying for him as well. I talk to God like my best friend. I make sure he knows like exactly what I'm looking for. Just praying for my husband, and like I was asking you earlier, how to cipher the men that aren't necessarily here, like that aren't serious,
Okay.
and you know, go for the ones that inherently are looking for something serious.
Now, I'm assuming the man of God for you is the first and foremost thing that you want.
Oh yeah, if that's like a deal breaker. If you're not a man of God, I can't speak to you because our values are already like off balance. That's already unequally yoked. I ain't got time for that.
So how how much of the Bible do you know?
A lot actually.
Are you, what is the difference between, well, I'm gonna quiz you then if you're ready. I wanna pick your brain. Are
Go
you,
for it.
what's the
Yeah.
difference between the old and the new, what's going on in the Old Testament and what's going on in the New Testament?
The Old Testament was before Jesus came. It was more like the prophets and things of that nature, more of God's promises to the people. The New Testament is after Jesus came and the instructions he left for basically the church to continue.
All right, and who was the main apostle in the New Testament?
The main apostle,
Hmm.
I think it was John the Baptist, or not John the Baptist. What's
Who's the
his
main
name?
apostle to the Gentiles?
To the Gentiles, I think it was Moses. If I'm not
So
mistaken. That's Old Testament.
an apostle is someone who's seen Christ. So who is an
Oh,
apostle?
seeing Christ. Who was an apostle?
Who's the main apostle to the
Math.
Gentiles?
Oh, the main. I can't answer that. I
Okay,
know.
no problem.
I think it was
So
Paul.
I think it was Paul. Yeah.
dang, well
Paul
that's
of.
not looking good. That's not looking good. Because
No, 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 no. Paul of the man that was
all
on
of T
the
starts with a
donkey.
T. Donkey.
Tarsus.
Jesus was on a
Sorry.
donkey. Ari.
Not Jesus. No, no, no. The one that the donkey saw the light, it blinded him.
Oh,
And then he
who,
was a Roman he was
citizen?
persecuting, yeah, he was a Roman citizen persecuting Christians, and the Lord came to him while he was, I think, on his way to persecute people.
What is your favorite book?
My favorite book is Esther.
Why is that?
Because I feel like she's a woman that led with grace and she gives a good example of how to carry yourselves among people that are not necessarily in your faith.
Okay, that's great. That's a great response. So
Yeah.
I think gauging on your knowledge, I'm gonna give you two. I'm gonna say two things. The first thing is, what is, or here's the next question I'm gonna ask. What is your favorite book in the New Testament?
My favorite book in the New Testament, Psalms. Oh, in the New Testament? No, 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 no. In the Old Testament is Psalms, in the New Testament is Revelations.
Okay, JP, thanks for the follow. So,
Okay,
have you
can
read
I know along?
Proverbs?
I've dibbed and dabbled. I'm not gonna say that I know the Bible well, but I wouldn't say front to back. I'm currently in the process of reading my Bible in a year, faithfully. So that's what I've been doing.
All right. Then, what I would recommend for you, I'll give you that recommendation, but I want you to also focus on what I'm about to say here. And I think it might be Corinthians, but I know it's Paul talking about this. Paul explains the mystery. Are you familiar with the mystery of Christ and Jesus, or Jesus and the church?
I'm familiar, but you can touch on it.
Mystery is basically the man is Christ and the woman is the church. Or you cut off for a second. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. My bad.
No problem. So the man is like Christ and the woman is like church, or is like the church. So the man is supposed to sacrifice his life. The woman is supposed to submit. The man is supposed to love his wife as he loved himself, like
Christ
Christ.
Church, the church. Yep.
So another thing though is the man is supposed to be a priest, a high priest to his wife. So when it comes to the biblical man that you're looking for, you're going to need to discern just how biblical he is. And the more you know the Bible, the more you'll be able to be convinced.
Yeah.
So I oftentimes, when I hear people talk about the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
and when they say something in my head will go, it's likely the Holy Spirit, and it'll say, wait,
Yeah.
that's not in the Bible.
Right.
The Bible said
Yeah.
this. So okay,
Yeah.
so we're already on the same page. So the more you get in the word, the more you're going to be able to tell the difference between a shepherd and a hireling, right? A shepherd or a thief. So the reason why I bring that up is because this is the best way you're going to be able to sow into finding that man.
Okay.
Now, I would recommend getting more into Proverbs, because Proverbs is going to give you some very basic, practical, easily to understand and follow and absorb, just simple truths about life. When it comes to dealing with anger, when it comes to dealing with fools, when it comes to knowledge, wisdom, it's going to be one of the best places. So I would recommend Proverbs, and I always recommend Proverbs, okay?
Understood.
And now, have you heard of Tony Gaskins?
I have not.
If you look up Tony Gaskins on YouTube, Gaskins, he's a very, very popular Black dating coach. And he has a very disproportionate amount of women as clients. He almost exclusively coaches women. This is a faithful man, been with his wife for over a decade. And their marriage is what I would consider ideal. And he's a Christian man. The reason why I bring him up is because he has a principle of the 3 B's: brains, body, and brand. As a woman is looking for this, she as a woman is looking for her man, she needs to be developing these things: her brain, her body, and her brand. Does that resonate with you at all?
It does. It does.
So that's what you should be trying to do, trying to get more skills, trying to work out and get your physique up, get your health up, get your
Mhm.
heart rate, your metabolic rate down, or obviously get your heart rate up in times, but you want to,
Mhm.
and your brain, when we're talking about brain, we're talking about the Bible, right?
Mhm.
So another thing is you go to church.
I do.
Well, you're gonna find this dude. You're gonna find him.
Okay.
And you're
I feel like it's funny you say like brains because I feel like the more I learn like brains and skills and things of that nature, it decreases the amount of men like potential suitors because I feel like today's men like they don't like necessarily want to go out and educate themselves. As much as I have friends that are fools, like I feel like my entire female group is more educated than the male
so when you
group
say
that I
educated, what do
have.
you mean? What type of education?
Degrees,
All right, so when
you
I say
know.
education, or when I say brains,
Mhm.
I mean really, there's nothing wrong with having knowledge,
Mhm.
but I'm more so talking about wisdom.
Okay, that makes
Because
sense.
a person can have a lot of knowledge, but if they don't know how to apply it, they can ultimately be a fool, right?
Correct.
So I would say there's nothing wrong with wanting a man who has an intellect and who has an education, but I'm saying, well, maybe perhaps you DC'd for a moment. I think Dot is here.
So you said what?
I'm saying, Dot, I see you. I'm gonna let you up for a moment. Dot, hello, Dot.
Hi, hello.
All right, so real quick, Dot, just remain silent for a moment. I'm gonna finish up with Ari.
All good.
So when it comes to intellect, there's nothing wrong with a man being educated, but I'm saying please don't discount his wisdom. This can be wisdom that he grew up with his grandma. His grandmama taught him the ways to go. And he might be simple as far as books and degrees, but he's very wise in his age and wise
That's
how
true.
he moves about. You can see righteousness in that man still.
That's true. That's true. That is very true.
So I think you're going to find that man because if you're going to be meeting a man in church, this is going to be a very particular man. And so long as you're
That's true.
doing what you're already saying you're doing, which is being abstinent, you're focusing on your brain, your body, and your brand. And I would encourage you to pick up Proverbs and
Mhm.
subscribe to Tony Gaskins. Me and Tony Gaskins don't agree on a lot, but I learned a lot from him. And I
Mhm.
think he's a very good example if you need some recurring passive motivation,
Mhm.
wisdom on finding a man.
Understood. Thank you for
No
your
problem.
advice. Thank you.
Did you have any other questions at all?
No, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome, Ari. You're welcome back up. Glad to hear how it's going, but
Thank
you
you.
have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You too.
All right, thank you. Bye. Dot, what's going on? I finally found you. I was having an issue trying to find you to DM you.
Oh, I've just been off of like social media for the past couple of days.
Okay.
I got a cold one, which I'm like, I don't know if you can hear my voice, but I'm still
Oh, a
recovering
cold.
from.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just wondering, did you like edit the
No,
video and
I have
stuff?
not yet because I couldn't find you because I know you wanted me to at the very least give you a voice over or a voice mask. So
Yeah.
before I was even gonna get into that, I wanted to see that's what you wanted, right? You wanted me to voice mask you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how to do that on my editor yet, but I'm gonna do that. I've just been focusing on a lot of other videos. But are your parents? Oh, did you tell your parents about it?
To be honest, I just I've been doing some reflecting, and like my parents, they're kind of, at least my mom specifically, because I don't really talk to my dad about this type of things, especially because he's always working.
Thanks for the rose,
And
Ari. Go ahead.
I don't know, I don't really feel comfortable just like talking to him, especially like during the only times when we have time together. I don't want to talk about marriage and stuff, but um definitely my mom, I realized that like when it comes to that topic of marriage, she's a bit eager if that makes sense.
Mhm.
So she is likely to like the advice, but just like create more
Oh, you're just saying that
urgency.
she's a bias. There's a bias.
Yeah, she's just a lot more eager. Like she just believes that like I should just, pick the best option um spiritually and financially, and that like attraction isn't really an important factor. She thinks it's more of a privilege for like people to be able to, I guess, choose who they're just simply attracted to. And for me, I think attraction is a big factor. You know what I mean? Like in the sense of like there has to be chemistry and physical attractiveness. But
Okay. And when it comes to last time we talked, have you made any progress or anything notable you wanted to mention? Any dudes,
I don't know if this is
gentlemen?
notable, but I actually wanted to get your perspective on this because I'm like, because like I kind of, when you're like low-key having cognitive dissonance about a situation and you kind of just need like full-on clarity about it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, basically, there was this individual that I knew um a couple years back on social media, and also like a family acquaintance, I guess you could say. He's basically the son of like a very respected and well-established family that is associated with mine. And I, around like my mid-teens, like 16, 17, I used to always like engage in discourse about like different social political issues on my Instagram, and he would always like interact with them, and we would always have like I guess engage in kind of like
Banter?
intellectual in huh bands.
Banter?
I mean, yeah, he's like basically, yeah, like he was kind of a whole troll, but at the same time like it was a pretty good debate, and there was like intellectual intimacy, like that thing that I talked to you about before. And I
Mm-hmm.
guess that was like one of the main instances when I realized that's something that I'm actually very attracted to, right? But at the same time, I was 16 and like around 16, 17 at the time, and I was like not, and I wanted nothing to do with my culture at that time, so I was just like I did
But now
not want
you're
to
on.
engage. But now I'm like,
So where is
I'm
he
in my
now?
20s. So now he popped up randomly. Well,
When?
not randomly, but we
When?
I mean, like he would randomly pop up here and then, but I took the initiative to basically like DM him on Instagram. And we were
Okay.
having like a pretty good conversation or whatever, but like that trolling, immature, bantery vibe was still there. And basically, we're like talking, and I'm just like, okay, like this is great and everything, but like, when are you gonna drop the act? You know?
The trolling
And
act?
yeah, the trolling act. I kind of like I didn't directly ask him that, but like in my head I'm just like, okay, like when is like that gonna go on? And like I guess 2 days into the conversation, this happened actually over the weekend. Oh, hold on, give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for the likes, guys. Appreciate it.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Also,
no problem.
I forgot
That's
to
me.
I
Yeah.
basically was oh
Go ahead, Dot.
sorry. So basically, yeah, I'm like, okay, like you're like actually such a bright guy, and you're a complete troll. So I'm like, how am I supposed to take you seriously? But you've been trying to pursue me since like
So you told him
2021.
this.
Basically,
And what did he say?
basically we well, listen. It was on Snap, right? And we were texting back and forth, and he made like this weird. He made this like very strange lustful comment
Uh-oh.
after I said like and I called him out on it. He was like, he said something about like I unset a picture or something, and he was like, I was like, damn, I was like, sorry, I had to unset that because my shoulder was showing. And he was
Mm-hmm.
like, let me see your shoulder and so much more, right? And I'm like, like that's bad, that's a red flag, like ew. And I was like, bro, like, can you not be so down bad like that? Do you choose to troll like this? Like it's kind of, it gets to a point where it's just full on creepy, and I blocked him because it's like, I'm not gonna lie, I have this tendency of like no nonsense, and in the past when he would engage in that bantery style and he would get flirty, so it would start as like a debate and then he would just full on start flirting with me. I would
Mm-hmm.
either leave him on open or just like eventually block him. And I never again took him seriously until like I would have conversations with my older cousins that know him and his family and everything, and they were like, he's actually a really chill, like he's actually a really bright guy. That's just how he is. Like he's like this with everyone. He's just a complete troll.
No, is that something you can
And
deal with if you married him and she's just gonna troll? Is
the
that something you
thing
can deal
is,
with?
that's the thing I was like thinking about, because it's like his trolling is like like obviously trolling. Like he'll say stuff like, "You're so objectively wrong about an opinion." You know what I mean? Like just
Well, how's
like
that trolling?
just being you can't be objectively wrong about an opinion. Like he's saying that on purpose to just like get a reaction out of me.
Oh, so he likes to get under your skin.
Yeah, basically.
So
And
is
like,
that something you can tolerate as a man that you're gonna die with?
yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. Like it I don't know. I just wonder. My thing is, it's just like, I guess I'm basically like, maybe this is just like a protective kind of like a screen that he has, because he's like scared of intimacy, but that's none of my business. That has nothing to do with me, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
and you're wishfully thinking because we don't know that about him, right?
exactly.
And just there's a halo. Like you have to understand your bias. You're talking about your moms. You have to understand your bias. Your bias is this man is going to have the halo effect on you, to where you're going to project. Maybe, perhaps he's not like that, or perhaps I need to discover more about him. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah,
you
there was
already
like
blocked
a
him
couple
though.
other red flags, but no. But basically, so I was like, okay, so I have him on him. I blocked him on Snap, and then he texted me. He was like, "You like undo that, like like don't unblock me." And I was like, and that's when I was like, I took that as an opportunity to like lay it all down. Like, listen, like, yeah, you're cool and everything, but I'm not here to be like trolled 24/7. Like, I don't know, like, if you're here to just like have a kiki haha, but like I don't want to waste my time. Like, I'm a serious girl and I actually like you. Like, I just was direct with him.
And what was his response?
He basically was like, I really like you too. Da, 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 da. But then he said something that was like another red flag. He was like, started like still trying to get under my skin. I don't know if he was intentionally doing that, but he was kind of deflecting. He was like, boundary. I was like, yeah, I was like, relationships for me, a solid like foundation is respect and boundaries. And he responded to that by like, well, everybody has their different boundaries. And I don't think that's a bad answer, but it's just like, I don't know, for me in the heat of the moment, I'm just like, why are you being combative? Every time
So what is the dissonance? Where does the dissonance come in?
The dissonance comes in where it's like, I don't know, I feel like, I don't know if I'm being a little too harsh on him just because of the fact that
Oh, she got snatched off stage with that giant hook.
Perhaps.
Nairi has a lot to say.
Ed. Let's see.
Okay, sorry.
No problem.
I'm back. I had an interruption. But yeah, and also another thing he said, he was like, before I go back into the dissidence thing, he was like, is every time my hormones are gonna act up, you're gonna block me? And I was like,
That was the question he asked you?
He said, if every time my sister remembers verbatim.
Yeah,
Hold on.
you're missing out very key information. So I walked into her. He said word for word, if every time my hormones act up and you block me, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, I don't know if
I think that's very clear.
That was him saying that. That was his statement.
Yeah, that was
So,
his statement. But like, yeah.
do you think
so
there's any
for-
validity to what he's saying?
I mean, the thing is, it's like, I understand as a man, like, you might get like excited and everything, but that's your responsibility as a mature, grown-ass man to control that. And like,
Well, here's the thing. Would you say you were being mature in the moment if you're blocking him?
Huh?
Would you say you're being mature in the moment?
no, not really, because I kind of just blocked him and I didn't have a conversation.
Well, then you guys are likely on equal playing field right at the moment, are you not?
Okay, I don't know about equal, because
Well,
like, I don't really
the reason why I
troll
would
like
say there's a level of immaturity on your part. There's a level of immaturity on his part because he's not respecting your boundaries, but there's also...
Wait, I forgot. I'm not finished with the
Yes,
story
ma'am.
yet, James.
Okay.
It gets worse. Excuse me. I'm so sorry
Okay,
for interrupting you.
Trevano, thanks for following. Yeah, go ahead, Dot.
So basically, that's like, okay, I could say that we're on it's an evil
At that
we're
moment.
on equal playing fields until, okay, maybe now that I'm thinking about it and I'm saying it out loud, I might be
I just feel like
overacting.
you had multiple opportunities to just be like direct and like lay out how you feel without being emotional, and a lot of your responses were just not that. You were
Yeah,
just being
I guess I was just emotionally triggered, so I led with that. But either way, okay, I'm not gonna mention this next part because I don't know, maybe I'm over reading it because again, like this situation triggered an emotional response for me and like a wound that I have from
This is a
like my
newer.
past.
This is new information
Yeah,
that you're about to
basically,
disclose.
yeah, I don't know because I kind of feel like goofy saying this, but basically, so I ended up like cooling down like an hour or two later, not even, and I unblocked him and I was like, yeah, like I said, I unblocked him, and then I sent him a text. I was like, it was I think Monday. I was like, "Are you free?" Because he lives in our home country, by the way. Like he moved back there for work.
Did you fold?
Fold for what?
You blocked him and you blocked him and you unblocked him and now you're asking him if he's free.
Yeah,
No, you forgot context before that.
What?
Then he was like, I like you too much to give up on you.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm jumping all over the place, bro.
All
I'm so
right.
sorry.
All
So
right.
basically, where was I? We were at the part where he was like on
Okay.
Instagram. He was like, unblock me, right?
Uh-huh.
So
he said if every time.
Oh yeah, so I'm on that part, Shay. You're confusing me. Stop. Anyways, I'm like, yeah. So he's like going on about like boundaries, and I'm just like, we're having this conversation about like, bro, like you're triggering me. Like I don't like this. I didn't say this exactly, but we're just having that conversation back and forth.
Okay.
And then basically, I'm trying to remember. Give
Where's
me
the
a
worst
second.
part,
We
Dot?
both agreed that it's not gonna work.
Oh yeah. So
Wait a
basically,
minute.
It's like, why do I remember this conversation?
bro, it didn't go. I'm sorry,
It
because
didn't go like
I
that.
have ADHD, and she's like making me forget.
Dot's yeah, go
Hold on,
ahead.
give me a second. I need to yell at my sister to shut up. Just shut the hell up.
Dot's sister is being a consultant, but also she's trying to be an arbiter too. She's trying to be neutral too. Let's see. Yeah, my waves look anti-feminist coded. Hey.
So yeah, basically, I'm like, he's like, okay, so I remember. So he goes, yeah, but like, if you're gonna block me, every time my hormones are gonna act up or whatever, this is not gonna work, And then I was just like, and the conversation ended with me telling him, you know what, I at least appreciate your transparency and you being honest and actually having this conversation, because I'm used to him just like freaking like not even being a real person. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so I just said that. I was like, I appreciate your transparency. He was like, well, yeah, like, this is just, I'm going to be honest with someone that I'm serious with if I want this to work. And I was like, same here. And the conversation ended there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward, I text him. I'm like, hey, like.
He said after that, but oh shit, I care. I like you too much.
Oh yeah. Then he was like, but I like you too. Yeah, because I forgot about this.
But I
He was
like you too much.
He's
What?
like, he's like, but I like you too much to give up. Unblock me, right? And he said it like with a little cuss word, but I'm not gonna add that because
So where's the worst part, Dot?
The worst part is right now, currently where we're at, is I'm like, whatever, I unblocked him on Snap because I'm like, you know what? Even if like whatever, this is not worth you being fully blocked. Maybe I overreacted. I texted him. I was like, can we have an actual conversation though over the phone? Because I feel like this, like, I didn't text this whole thing, but my intention is I feel like texting is not the best form of communication.
Fair. And have you guys had that conversation yet?
No, basically,
Why not?
this mother lover has just like
Whoa,
is now on.
Wait. Who's other lover?
He's mother lover. I can't say the bad word, but I'm calling him mother lover.
Wait, he's a mama's boy?
No, I'm saying mother effer, but I'm not saying the cuss word.
Motherfunker.
Oh, he hasn't called. He hasn't called yet.
Yeah, basically, he hasn't called yet. He's just like, he texted me talking about some hey smiley face, and I texted him back like, hey, you decided to spawn, and like he's just been playing. He's playing that like leaving me undelivered for like hours games. So I'm
Wait,
just
how long
like,
has this been?
how long I've been on
How long have
delivered?
you? How long were you? How long did you request a call? How long has it been?
It's been like I think 2 days now, 3 days.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think I'm gonna say is the best course of action?
Are you gonna tell me to block him again?
Oh, you shouldn't look. You shouldn't have blocked him in the first time unless it was supposed to be something serious. But you're using blocking as kind of like, hey, I'm letting you know you're on thin ice, or I'm letting you know I didn't like that. But I'm saying this.
Yeah,
I'm
but
arguing. I'm arguing that's not really mature to do, because if
I
you're gonna
know.
block him, then you need to be serious about it. That would be like, oh, I'm gonna leave you, and maybe you can come back and find me, or maybe you can crawl on your knees to come get me back.
Yeah,
Or
I get it. I get it.
so, all right, so you're not blocking. This is what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
If he's gonna be a dickhead and keep trolling you, then he's not serious.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't be talking to him until you guys have a conversation.
Hold on.
James, Nairi doesn't believe that you're married.
All right, well, tough titty.
You have your ring on you, right?
Yeah, I sure do. It's right here.
Show her that.
Where's your ring? Where's your ring at,
I
Nairi?
ain't got one. That's what it is.
I know you're pretty. Nairi, where's the ring at?
So am I a liar now?
He can't read the comment because he probably isn't wearing his glasses. Well, I mean, everything on my screen is pretty big enough for me to not have glasses. What? Why is Nairi being so mean? Why is she being a big meanie pants?
Angry.
Why are you so bitter?
Big and angry, that's all.
Dang, big and angry. Are you big, Nairi? I didn't say all that. That was Aaron saying it.
I wasn't trying to like speak on her weight or like anything like that.
Oh, maybe
But
you mean
it
she's
just
like
sound-
big mad, big.
Yeah. But it did sound like a something McDonald's will prep up. Like big and angry sandwich. Get it right now, limited edition.
Yeah, why you Happy Meal mad, Nairi? What's up with that?
Nairi, you got proven wrong. Is there anything else I could prove you wrong?
Yeah,
on?
yeah. See, look at that. Look at that. Now,
Ooh.
now respect it.
Yeah. Even if it was big.
Even if I was big.
Oh.
I mean, ain't nothing wrong with being
Well-
big. I mean, as long as it's healthy, you know what I mean?
I'll let you cannonball on me. No, I'm playing. I'm joking.
Hey, David, I'm about to be wrapping up soon. So that's gonna be my last conversation. But you're definitely welcome back up Saturday when I go live. David. I'm about to be wrapping up, my friend.
I know he's big though. None. I know he's big though. None. Wrong
Okay,
one?
I'm back. Sorry.
I don't know what she's talking about. I'm staying out of that.
So, Dot, are
Yes.
you in agreement with the advice I gave?
Yes, blocking is not mature.
Yeah, so blocking is not mature, and until this is the last thing you need to. If he texts you again and it's trolling, just explain to him. I don't want to troll. I don't want to do the back and forth. If we want to have actual conversation with me, we can do that. Other than that, I'm not interested. You can word that in a way that's, it's not too harsh.
Mm-hmm.
I think you and your sister sound like she has a good head on her shoulders. You guys can craft up a nice, concise conversation.
No, that's probably what I'm gonna say. What's just like bothering me right now, well, I guess bothering is an exaggeration, is just like I feel like it's just that like I don't like uncertainty. Like it's just something I guess I have to work on. But yeah, I guess when the next time he reaches out, I'll just say that to him straight up.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing about boundaries. You need to stick by them. And you need to be ready to walk away at any time.
Yes.
And I don't know, obviously marriage is not what we're talking about, but before then, when you're trying to find a suitor, you need to let people feel these boundaries. And the only way they can feel them is if you're truly willing to walk away.
Yes. My sister's jealous. She says she wants to get advice from you, but I heard you said you're gonna get off. So.
And okay, so we'll call Sister Dot. You're definitely welcome back up. I'll be up on Saturday, and I'd love to hear the problems you have. See if we can work through those too.
I Okay, I respect that. I was gonna say I'm a lot less like a little nuanced than she is.
Okay.
Are you TikTok able? Like, are you above TikTok age?
Yeah,
We're twins.
Oh, you guys are twins.
Dan, can you guys do fusion?
What's fusion? That's why we bicker so much, is because like he.
That's hilarious. My wife is a twin.
Oh, yeah.
What are the odds of
Does she
that?
have a sister or
Yep,
brother?
twin sister.
Yeah.
Identical or
Yeah,
fraternal?
identical.
Same.
But I can tell them apart though.
Yeah, like I think as we got older, people can tell us apart.
Yeah, that would make sense. So then,
But yeah.
regarding that advice, can that ring in your head until you?
Yeah, I was gonna do it regardless. I just needed that like emotional, I guess.
Oh, that's
clarity.
good. That's good then.
Yeah.
Me speaking to your intuition, it's confirmation then.
Yes.
So once again, if he comes back trying to jokey joke, you're not gonna have. Here's the thing: you're not gonna have any other conversation ever until you guys have this conversation where you guys can be on the same page.
Yeah, that's what my intention is. You know. Yeah.
All right, great then. Great, that's
Okay,
really
well,
great.
Have a nice night.
All right, Dot. I'm looking forward to an update and thanks for coming on.
See you Saturday.
All right, see you guys. Cascadian, you know that's some good feminist dating advice. Oh, he said I ain't anti-feminist dating advice though. Well, that's not to say there isn't overlap. Cascadian, you gotta admit that was sound advice. As much as you hate my ideology. Aaron Daniels, now would it be fair if I call you hard? If I call you hard-headed?
Nope. You can't call me anything because I proved you wrong, Nairi.
Oof.
I just proved you wrong, so I asked you to shush and stay quiet, but you wouldn't run your mouth.
Cascadian, let me explain something to you. Cascadian, you sound like you're a male. But I could be wrong. Cascadian, if you're a male. Let's see. It was sound advice that she needs to hold to her boundaries. Well, that's good, Cascadian. You and I can be in agreement there, at least. After all of our disagreements in the chat.
She says because you're not wearing the ring on your page, it's a disservice, or which I say
What?
you were. What? You just
So wait a minute. So you mean to tell me if I don't have, I usually have my ring on. I make it a point to have my ring on, but I mean if my wife doesn't particularly, it doesn't bother her, and my intent is to definitely make sure that I showcase I'm married. I make it a point. Hell, I was just talking with Dot right now about my marriage status. So why are you tripping? You had some have you dealt with some unfaithful men? Or is it because I'm black? You think I cheat? What's up with that? What's up with that?
She said that's untrustworthy. That's crazy. I'm not tripping, laughing at myself.
Nah, you saying because I'm black, I'm cheaters? Because
saying
I
just
feel like I'm
because he's not-
profiled.
You saying just because he's not wearing his ring on his page means he's untrustworthy? What if he didn't even think about it? Maybe.
Yeah.
it
What
was
if I wasn't?
something-
What if some of those videos I wasn't married? Is that also a possibility? Because there's many of those videos, about half of them I was not married. So couldn't I not just have recently got married?
What if his wife doesn't want him to display it?
Let's see
Well,
here.
well, hey, if we're just saying shit.
Man, shut up.
I'm
Shut
not
up,
tripping.
Shut up, Nairi.
Yeah.
Shut up.
You just run your mouth.
If you're recently married, then how are you giving advice? Well, I think even, hey, what up, Case? So I think even if I wasn't married, it would still be sound advice to run away from all feminism, men and women. Any male feminists, any female feminists, they might as well be radioactive. That would still be sound advice. So I don't need to be married to tell you that. Aaron's not married, and he can give good advice, at least if it's in that context. So got your ass. Women keeping with their boundaries is a core tenet of feminist empowerment.
I feel like Nairi's
Yeah,
against
I
marriage.
would say that it has overlap, and the like I tell this last lady about feminism, a broken clock can be right 2 times a day. So just because feminists stumble out of on truths despite their own cancerous ideology, that doesn't mean feminism's good. So
That's an opinion, Nairi. You know
that's
what
your
you're talking
opinion,
about.
not sound advice. Sound advice comes from professionals. That's completely dumb.
But even
Because you're basically
professionals can
saying
fuck
if
up.
you don't have a credential, therefore you're not worthy of giving advice. So what if a father doesn't have a credential? Can he give advice?
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
What if a
What if a
mother doesn't
mother?
have a credential? Can she give advice?
Ooh, yeah. Respond to that, Nairi. What if a grandparent or an uncle or an auntie, correct or not, if you don't have a credential, it's an opinion.
No. And we'll look up the definition of opinion. I will grace you with this conversation for a moment. Let's define opinion.
She tripping. Nairi, you sound crazy. Nairi, you got a boyfriend? Are you single? I feel like you're against marriage.
An opinion is a personal thought, belief, or judgment about someone or something. It is highly subjective, meaning it is based on individual experiences, feeling, and perceptions rather than absolute or provable facts. So I have made a lot of claims that are provable. A lot of the evidences and premises I bring about through my arguments are provable. They're also falsifiable. And I give room for feminists to do that all the time, that to which they fail at. So when it comes to an opinion, this would be different than an argument that I'm bringing about, because it's not solely based on my my subjective feelings or experiences. I oftentimes look for agreements when I build discussions with people, realities that we observe that we can agree on. This would be if I'm explaining to you, and if I'm asking you questions and trying to build an argument based on observations we can agree on, this would make it less subjective. Because if we can acknowledge realities similarly, this would make it less subjective. But you said, I feel like I can say that feminism is bad for men and women. You feel like. So what you're doing is you're being pedantic, because people can say they feel like, but that doesn't mean they're not observing a truth after that statement they say next. You're just being pedantic. You're what's called being a pedant. For everyone, I'll look up the definition. A pedant, a person who is overly obsessed with the formal rules, minor details, and the display of academic meaning, often at the expense of common sense. Nairi, you're being a pedant at the moment. Please stop that. Cascadian, you hush. And if
What's
I'm
your
being
name,
dismissive and
Custodian?
Cascadian, I'm being defensive, huh? Nah, you're using your thumbs. You got 2 6-packs on each palm right now. Because you don't want to come up and have a conversation. Obviously,
Nor Nairi.
but that's
Nairi.
fine. I'm gonna go ahead and end here.
I hope to see you come back, Nairi.
You can agree or disagree, but it's not based on facts. Yeah, so data is something that we can both observe, Nairi. And if I ask on an agreement of an observation, that I'm literally doing just that. If I ask you, can we observe that the ground is under your feet, and you say yes, we are agreeing with empirical data. That's oftentimes how I build my arguments, madam. That's what I got to communicate. I feel you, Cascadian. Perhaps you're like Stephen Hawking or Christopher Reeves. There's no shade. Ladies,
Melissa, I like your profile pic.
ladies, don't waste your time. Melissa, you
I like
look
your profile pic.
you look gender fluid, so I'm gonna say stop being a white knight. Stop being a simp.
Gender. We are all.
We are one. All right, guys. Well, it's been a pleasure. I am going to be posting some more of these clips in the chat. Yeah, thanks, Nari. You know, we're busting each other's balls, but I think you're a good sport. You have a good night, Nari. And you too, Melissa, you simp. Cascadian. So you're reading the live by name calling. Yep, I name call it sometimes, Cascadian. That's how we do things here. You don't like it? You jerk face?
Yeah, custodian.
Damn, you call you a custodian.
Custodian Adventures. Sounds like a porno. Oop, I can't say that. Corno, a corno.
Hey, so my clips are going to be coming up. I like clipping my vids. If you guys want to be notified the next time I go live, just hit me a follow. Nairi, thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. See,
Night night,
this
custodian.
is a nice feminist right here. This is a cool feminist. You know, these are the ones that are not so insufferable.
Yeah, Nairi, you might have a chance to get married and get a nice husband one day.
Dancing with Nature. Thanks for the likes. Appreciate it. So yeah, I'm right now. I'm kind of transitioning because shorts are being more successful for me than my long form. So I'm likely going to start doing more shorts and clips than just posting our live conversations. But if you want to be notified of that, just hit the follow button. And I'm married. He thinks I'm pretty cool too. Thanks. So yeah, that's good. Good to know you're
I'm
married.
happy for you.
We're hopefully
Nairi.
with more of these lives you listen to, get some of that feminism out of you. God willing.
Dang.
All right,
Where's
guys.
your ring at, Nairi? Wait, hold on, before you leave.
Let's just wrap it up. All right, guys. Peace.
All right.
Peace.
All right, peace.
I'm supposed to end it. What the hell happened? Can I end the live? Okay. Minute. Oh, what? Which? It wasn't good for the channel.